Morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? How are you all doing? Hopefully you had a good day yesterday. Oof. What a nice grind and squeeze yesterday. I mean, I don't know if we call it nice, but it did its job, didn't it? The weekly targets all have been hit. There we go, that's better. Sip of the coffee here before we go through the charts. As always, make sure you are fit and able to trade. As I warned you yesterday, all right, in these type of markets, you are going to find traders calling tops all the time. All right, there are traders out there. They need the clicks on their YouTube. Oh, it's the top. We're going to burn. We're going to zero. We're going to zero. Don't buy into it. I warned you yesterday on stream. I warned you on YouTube. We are in a squeeze right now. Okay, and we're going to go through why right now on the daily. Very simply, big kill candle. Did we ever re-break that low? No. Create liquidity. Last week, base above that liquidity. Thursday, showed the strength. Friday, gap in continuation. Monday, gap up, continuation. And today, gap up, continuation. All right. This is a breakout. All right. It's a breakout. So if you are shorting, all right, anywhere since we've broken the old all-time high, all right, looking for the puke back down, you are guessing the top, you are guessing the top, you're 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 guessing the top. There's absolutely no reason to be guessing the top, all right? If the market's going to pull back and fill this gap or down to here or have a giant fail breakout and build liquidity here and do this, it's going to give you plenty of opportunities to play the backside. You don't need to be a seller up here guessing. You can wait for something very simple to join the backside. All right, you don't need to guess. It's the first thing I want to say because I'm seeing it everywhere on Twitter. Now, at some point, someone's going to get it right. They're going to guess the top a million times in a row, and at some point, they're going to get it and say, I told you so, and then you're going to be tempted to buy into their logic. Don't do it. Don't do it. I say this with, experience in this, in getting caught, in being pulled into silly nonsense like that. All right. So far we're bullish. We're still above 2 sigmas. Right. This is very, very, very unusual to see. The last time we saw it was at the lows, and the times before that we'd have to go back years. At the lows we saw the same type of thing. All right. A close outside, and we spent like 2 or 3 days outside. Might be the same thing. All right. It might be the same thing this week because we've still got lots of news. We had news this morning. It was Microsoft news this morning. AI news was good. PayPal had good earnings. Most of the earnings were good this morning. All right, so just be aware of that. We're in earnings season. Most of them are printing pretty good earnings. Let's see if we can get some clues from the hourlies. Go from there. Make sure you can see all this. Yes. All right, first one. Hourly, you can see we're in breakout. We've left the gap open. We've left yet another gap effectively overnight. All right, because the close yesterday is down here at 962. All right, so overnight, what did we do? We did everything you'd want to see for a continuation, to be quite honest. All right, we came up to our levels. Remember, yesterday we were looking for 35, which is right here, basically became previous day point of control, 50s, and 26,000. We've now just slightly extended that. We pulled back overnight and held what? We held value. Very bullish. Very, 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 very bullish. I'm sure there were lots of people overnight thinking we were going to collapse the whole thing. There's nothing in this yet to suggest we're backside of the move. That is a bullish move, pulling back, holding value for a continuation higher. That's all we've seen. Now, it's probably completed that move higher at this point in terms of targets and standard deviations. There you go. So into the 161. So the only thing left really is for it to go for a measured move up to 26,100. Maybe it does it this morning. I don't know. Where am I going to be interested in this product here? Because we are getting frothy. The backside will come if we fail to get acceptance, definitely above previous day's value and definitely above previous day's point of control. We have now left, I think, 3 or 4 point of controls without being tested. All right, because this is yesterday's. Fridays will be down here somewhere. I have to do a double check, and Thursdays will be down here. So we've left 3 days point of controls and value without being tested. That's not normal, but like I said, we're not in a normal market right now. This is accelerating to the upside into earnings. So maybe we get a rotational market. If we fail to hold value and previous day point of control, maybe there's a rotation down into here. Very, very possible to previous day value area low, maybe even to the gap. Maybe they bid this back up and go in a rotation there. If we get into the gap and there's no acceptance above, then we can definitely look for a short to close the gap. But I would doubt that will come today, but you know, market would do whatever it wants. Right now, we're bullish. There's absolutely no doubt about it. It's where's that come from? There we go. Okay. As we can see, again, like we talked about, overnight opened high. All right, squeezed out high. Asia rolls, London rolls, consolidation. There's your two leg, 1, 2 with a double bottom, and we accelerate to the upside on earnings. All right, we are very, 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 very bullish in this market. So this morning, I'm interested how we operate into Asia and London, but I'm way, way, way more interested in if we can get back into value, how we're going to operate when we get down into value, if we're going to do that. If we go to the lower time frames, you can see the same thing. Even this last hold was completing the cup. All right, completion of the cup with a little handle and explosion, and we're at the 161 here. All right, let's look at the other indexes, see if we can get any more out of the other indexes and some of the swings as well. So yeah, same story, nothing's changed. It's literally exactly the same story. Overnight, we did drift under PDC on ES, slight drift under, reclaim of PDC, reclaim of previous day high, extension through it. It's very, very bullish. It's not bearish technically until we get under here. Now, there might be a pivot here to get down to there, but technically this is your level. Your Globex and your previous day's value is going to be important. I would say this is probably also completed a move. Look at that, bang into the 161. Who'd have guessed it? All right, so we're seeing the same thing across the board here. Same on SPY, same on QQQ. It's exactly the same. Nothing's changed. You can watch the this sort of pre-market pivot in the Qs and the spiders. The pre-market and the after hours pivot of the high and the low might come into play today and be important. Bitcoin's found a bid here this morning as well. All right, important to know the rotation happening at the moment. Normally, Bitcoin should sell off up to 80% this time of year, given that it's had 1,000 days of bull run. Basically, normally it goes into consolidation period on a sell-off. We're not seeing that, but we've got, you know, different fundamentals in place at the moment. VIX continues to puke. Now, one thing I do want to be aware of is VIX. We're coming into the area where it likes to find aggressive bids off. Okay, so we think about the last few times we've come down into these areas, into the 12s in August, big bid off it, into this level in December, big bid off it, this level here into March, big bid off it. And even the other day, all right, even that sort of, let's call it a micro crash, because everyone thinks it was the start of a crash. It was a 3% down day. It really wasn't a lot. But same kind of area from 25, we started to find a bid and then we got an explosive move. It's likely, and the same here in October, it's likely at some point we are going to get that volatility to come back this week, especially knowing that we've got earnings Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, Fed on Wednesday afternoon as well. So it's highly likely there's some volatility coming back soon. Let's have a look at the MAG. We're doing okay for time. Down to 15 minutes. All right, so new all-time highs printed yesterday on Apple, pulling back under it at the moment, but as long as it holds a bid above sort of 65-ish, it's okay. We expect a pullback to hold. So maybe there's a pullback coming early in some of these MAG names, which will give the market a bit of a breather. We will see. Amazon, same story. Right, earnings coming this week. Consolidation at highs, very, very bullish. You know, I want to be adding into this right now and looking for longs into this. It offered that dip yesterday. I don't know why anyone thought that was bearish, getting rid of, what was it, 30,000? Was it 30,000 or 300,000? I can't remember. 30,000 employees going to be given the boot. Why? Because they're moving to AI, all right? They're moving to robots. 80% of Amazon will be robotic in the warehouses by next year, right? That's bullish because it's going to cost them less. It's going to cost them less than paying wages every month. So their P&L, their margins are going to get bigger and bigger. So this will probably be absorbed and you'll probably see a push up into earnings. Goog, very, very, very strong. This is in breakout territory. I mean, it's just absolutely flying right now. So that weakness that we're seeing for those few weeks completely absorbed, gapping up, looks like the Qs, and this thing's mega bullish until it's ready to stop, which it doesn't look like it's ready for yet until we see lower highs and lower lows start to be printed. Same story across the board. Meta, again, near highs. Let me just double check that. No, it's not near highs. Keep thinking it's near highs. It's not. Got to remember 800 is highs on Meta. All right, so plenty of room here on Meta. Again, earnings this week, holding above PDC, bullish. Creation of range up here, so we just got to see what's what. Microsoft, this was the big one this morning. AI news coming this morning. You'll see it here. Microsoft earnings coming, blah, 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 blah. But there was some AI news this morning. There we go. Reaching a new open AI deal. And that is an explosive move, folks. That's a decent move up this morning. So very, very bullish there. Maybe a bit of a pullback coming early in the market. Unlikely to just see this go as a straight train upside with that size of move, but who knows? Nvidia also catching a bid. All right, all the chip names, semis, they're all running at the moment. Everything looking very, very strong. Gapping up again there. Tesla, as again, consolidation at highs, slight gap up, not taking out the highs yet, but consolidation at highs looks pretty healthy. As a broad spectrum, equally weighted, we are gapping up on the mags and holding strength up there. So it looks very, very bullish. We can check some of the swings. Remember, I'm still long in AMD. Sold a very, very small bit last week. I'm holding this, expecting continuation into earnings. PayPal, I'm long in. All right, we got that bump on earnings this morning. I didn't sell any into the top. I just want to see if it can sort of base out here for a session or two and see if we can start getting going, because we've got so much room on PayPal and so much room in this sector. All right, if we can start getting through this 80s pivot and attacking up here, right, we can start really motoring again. It's got lots and lots of room to get back to these COVID levels. I don't expect it to get back up there, but if we can do, you know, a move into sort of halfway, I'll be really, really happy with that swing position. So I'm holding that, and if it takes years to develop, it takes years to develop. It's okay. I'm not looking to sell. Same with OSCR. We're starting to get going now, which is great. Once we get this bump through all-time highs, obviously nothing above us. So if healthcare sector can have a little catch-up trade, that would be fantastic for me. I'd be very, very happy with that. All right, let's move back into the futures. So bullish strength coming in here this morning. What would I be aware of? Just be aware of the frothiness in the market. All right, I wouldn't want to chase the highs here. So if there's a sort of failed breakout of the high, it might offer you a rotational play. If you're going to play short side today, until it's let go of key levels, if you're playing short side of like lower time frame levels, then you need to be aggressive with those stops, and you need to be aggressive with taking money. All right, you do not want to be early in these trades. This market is very, very, very exuberant right now. The amount of people that are going to run and chase into this market is going to be large. It does not have to give up when you think it wants to give up. It can keep going. And let's just quickly have a look at the book. There was a seller at 6,100 as he just left the tape. Go. All right, here's the open, folks. Let's see what we get. So just be cautious about a failed breakout. I wouldn't be buying breakout longs up here. Like, it's a bit like yesterday, really. It's kind of a black swan kind of territory in my mind. It's not something that excites me. It's not something that excites me. That first push being sold into there. Let's see if we can get up to those the 100s and see what we do. Maybe even wait for that new 4-hour candle and go from there, but we're definitely extended, no doubt about it. All of the mag upside here. Microsoft obviously the big winner. We talked about that's 3.75% up right now on the day. Spider's struggling up here, so you got a bit of divergence. Spider's starting to sell a little bit. Q still having that shove up. Let's see if Spiders find a bid at their VWAP. And let's get an anchor on here before I forget as well. Where have you gone? Come on, anchor. There we go. All right. So bullish open here, nice drive up. So again, beyond my taste. It's a bit like yesterday. It's holding flow zones though. Those of you who don't mind, keep buying into every dip. You look good. Let's close this poll down as well before I forget. So most of you looking for that squeeze higher this morning. And good morning, everyone. I didn't get a chance to go through the names. I'm sorry. Sorry. Did many of you catch any of these moves overnight? Maybe some of you waited for that value area high retest and got long. Maybe some of you caught it. Do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early, folks. Let's get this stream moving. Doesn't cost you anything here every day. Completely for free. All right, ES stuck at its New York Open right now. So it had a dip this morning. It got gobbled up back towards the New York Open, and it's not finding a bid over it right now. I'm wondering if we want to come to that 60, just to the 100 level, sorry. Some resting liquidity up there. There's a little bit above at 150, nothing else on the tape above that right now. I'm just letting this settle down a little bit. ES showing a little bit of weakness here, trading back down to its morning lows. NQ trading up to its morning highs. So very, very different markets right now. I'd say 100 very, very possible on a squeeze up. ES finding a bit of a bid down there. So it's just a wiggle. You've got divergence between the indexes. VIX finding a bit of a bid in front of previous day's low here. So just be careful here. If they start letting go of this, this can be the failed breakout. I would imagine 100 is where they want to go. But if they end up having a failed breakout, we can watch that New York Open. We can watch this sort of pivot in here, and we can watch Globex. Okay. In fact, the one thing I just want to do is just check those overnight levels. Let's just put one on from here. Okay. All right, so under New York View Up or at New York View Up here, ES found a bid at that low. We can watch this New York Open still bullish. Everything's still bullish. No reason to be front-siding this. Everything's still bullish right now. Back down to current value on the day off the New York print very early, but we can put this on here so you can see something. It's going to require patience, folks. The amount of people who are going to be front running this market, you're going to have two types of traders in this market. You're going to have people chasing the bullish move, and you're going to have people guessing the sell side. Just let them fight it out. Let them become the liquidity. We will trade when there's absolutely something nice and clear at good value for us to play. Or I shall reframe that. I will trade when there is something better value for me to play. So if bulls get trapped at highs and shorts get blown out, and then they're ready to go backside, I will play backside. If we drift back down and find a really nice bid at a key level, I will play upside. I will not chase the highs. I will not guess the front side on this market. So first 5 minute printed, we're just at the midpoint of that first 5 minute right now. Back down towards this New York Open. ES is starting to let go. You're starting to see some sell action come there. Apple as well, a little bit weaker here. So here's the New York Open. How do they react here will be key, I would say. Do they find a bid here? And if they don't find a bid here, maybe we go and test Globex and 24-hour VWAP. It's very, very possible. So watching this level carefully if they're going to start letting go. Here we go. So small piece on here. Again, aggressive with a stop instantly because I'm not going to be early on this. If they can't keep fading versus New York Open, I'll just take it off instantly. And a very, very small because I'm early. ES getting weak here. Really nice trade from ES back down to previous day's high. Now I want to see NQ join in here. And if it doesn't, we just take this off versus the New York. So just a scalp here only, and it either comes in or it doesn't. We're back testing New York nicely. They might want to drift up to 69s, which I'm not really willing to sit in. So any push up here, which is absorbed, I'm not interested in. And there is a buyer coming back in here at 55. So a bit of a battle here. Here we go. So take this off. This early one can come straight off. And we can always re-enter if it's ready. ES not even coming down to previous day high. Q's coming down. Spider's coming down into a key level, which got absorbed there. It'd be interesting here if they fail this at VWAP or if they reclaim that level. What are you trying to do? Back towards that New York Open. So maybe the same trade setting up. Just want to be careful here. Here we go. Here we go. Same trade setting up here. So is there any continuation here? Back down. Nice. Can we get under? Can we stay heavy versus that New York Open is the key. I want to see a bear flag build out here if we're going to break down towards Globex levels and VWAP. And watching ES carefully in case it finds a bid at previous day high. Still not on this, in this for the second trade. So first trade was a scratch. Second trade, it's the same trade thesis. If they let go of New York Open, we're going to have to see continuation. If we don't see it, then buyers are just going to hold this overnight level and we squeeze up. So waiting right now. So I had one trade here, looking for this breakdown into here, scratched it, break even, wait to see if they do this move here. Okay, I'm being very, very aware that there's a pivot here. So I want to see if they let go of this for that move. Yes, nice and weak. Apple about to go red, just gone red. And Google might join in here, going green to red. Lots of the quantum names are red, interestingly, as well. So it's really only like the Mag 7 with big, big strength. Looks like Netflix might have found its first bid since that week earnings as well. Okay, so reclaims, so still no second trade here. So just one scratch trade so far, that's it. Back to VWAP. ES finding a bid off previous day high like we talked about. That was the key level for ES. So it's got its 24-hour just underneath. So a re-squeeze here. So break even on that first one today. Nothing else to do yet, just waiting. We're still holding that New York Open. That's your over-under, I would say, right now. That is your over-under. Maybe they feel like they've got unfinished business at the 100s like we talked about, but back to 50% of the range. They can still reject this and come back down into here. And these will be scalps. If we're taking backside, if we're looking for the backside, if we're looking for a lower high to be set here, these would be scalps if we take them, because the main trend, remember, is upside right now. There is still liquidity above for it to aim for. There's no blow off top yet or anything like that. VIX is still going, so found a bid here this morning in front of previous day low. It's reclaimed previous day close. It's still trying to get into that move up to previous day high into 16s, and then really you want to see it attack 1630, 1640s if this market's going to have a decent pullback, let's call it. More selling here on Apple and Google, so they're starting to sell now. Google approaching 1/3% down on the day. Apple 0.09% down. I mean, really, it's flirting with PDC right now. Rest of the market looks good. Tesla 1% up, Nvidia 1.62% up, Microsoft 2.36% up, so that's giving a bit back. Meta 0.67% up. I want PayPal to find a bid here. I want that to show some strength. Let me just check that on my side monitor. I've got to monitor that in case I need to take. Starting to find a bid here, which is good. Come on, PayPal. Don't be a disappointment to me again. Trying to give you a chance long term. I'm trying, PayPal. You're going to frustrate me. All right, ES back down onto 24-hour VWAP on ES and previous day high. So I would expect a bid to potentially come in here in ES. If it doesn't and it gives a flush through that, we're going to go Globex and PDC on ES. ES, the weaker asset right now. Remember, Mag 7 all running. this week's making it high. Apple gone back, red to green, Google finding a bid. So buyers coming back in this market. Again, no second trade here. So we had one trade, scratched it. I was just looking for a continuation through New York down, scratched it as we come back to this midpoint. No follow through downside. Again, the hardest trades in the book is to try and get that counter trend move in a bullish market. They're the hardest trades in the book to play. But given that we're above the 2 standard deviation on the Bollinger Band on the daily, I'm not really looking for to play upside unless we come back into value. It's like a psychopath move for me. Oh, nice info risk. Yeah, short and gold overnight. I'm a bit pissed off with myself, to be honest, that I sold my GLL. So I was long GLL, right, which is a gold short off these lows. I can show you. All right, it's long from down here, and I sold into this move. Where was it? Monday? No, it was here. So I'm a bit annoyed myself because that's going to start really getting going. If gold starts to puke, this thing is going to motor. All right, so those of you who want to play ETFs and stuff, that's a 2 times gold ETF GLL you can look at. There are some other ones as well if you don't have that one available on your broker. There's plenty of them out there. Synthetic, basically synthetic ETFs. Okay, back into current day value. ES finding a bit of a bid here, or at least it's trying to find a bit of a bid here between 24-hour VWAP and previous day high, reclaiming previous day high just about. You've got, I think 100 might be the target above us like we talked about this morning. That's a nice curl this morning. They're finding a bid this morning. I'm not going to get short in this now. It's going to have to prove to me that there's a backside. All right, we were looking for weakness as it started to come in. It hasn't come back in. They've absorbed it. If we can create a bear flag and show weakness, I'll be interested. Otherwise, not interested. If there's no backside, I'm not interested. It's just like we talked about at the open. Anything lower time frame where we're looking for backside, we're going to have to be aggressive with the stops. All right, you have to take money fast and be aggressive with the stops. And if it shows more weakness, then we can add into the winner. But I'm not using even full size in those moves when we're early. Okay, back to VWAP here. ES struggling to find a bid at its VWAP and previous day high. NQ relative strength. Come on, put that. Yes, bids both sides right now. Going to require patience, folks. We'll do giveaways today because we didn't do any yesterday. So let's get this up to 150 likes, please. Share this stream with your mates. All the good stuff. Let's get the likes up. And we can give away some courses and some Apex accounts. Here we go. ES reflashing down. So new low on day on the ES. We are midpoint on the range on the NQ. Major divergence. All of the mag now green again. Opening range now set, folks. Your white lines on your screen. It's your 15-minute opening range now set. Nothing for me to do here. Midpoint of opening range. Inside current value, creating a point of control up here in the New York session in the first 15 minutes. We're above the New York VWAP. We're above the 24-hour VWAP. We're above the flow zones. We're not seeing weakness. Maybe it's going to come, but we're not seeing any profit taking in this market yet. And I don't want to get stuck. VIX having a big shove here now through 16s, right? So here's VIX through PDC into PDH, that gap that we talked about. Next stop on VIX, if it breaks out above PDH, it's got to move into 1636, all right, which should provide weakness for the ES, but NQ not willing to join in this morning. It doesn't give two you-know-whats about what ES is doing this morning. It really does not care. We're just midpoint of that opening range. If we get fails underneath the New York Open, I'm far more interested. We can play backside, but right now we're not seeing that. Everything being created right now is bullish structure in the NQ. Maybe that will change, but right now we're not seeing it. Google having a bit of a sell here, going green to red. Here we're going to see this bear flag and some follow through on NQ. That's what I'm wondering. They're trying, but it's just buyers on the tape non-stop. He's shown up again here at 65. Here we go. All right, can we get any follow through for a backside move today? Are we going to get underneath that New York Open outside of the opening range? Because I'm not going to trade in the middle of this opening range. Show me, market. What do you want to do? Because I'm not going to get caught here. We're just midpoint. Think about this. Drive up, fail. We were looking for continuation. Hasn't happened. Trade up into this point here. And we're stuck. I don't want to get caught in here. I want to see backside or blow off. And I want to be a buyer way down lower if I'm going to be a buyer today. Remember, third gap up in a row in this market. If you put regular trading hours on. Third gap in a row. All right, ES, new low of day. ES is going to close its gap here. NQ is still above its opening print. Whoa, just crazy. All right, back towards that opening print on NQ. What are we doing, NQ? Still finding bids on that New York Open. If they let go of the New York Open, we can think about that move that we talked about earlier, back down, all the way down into these, right? PDH, VWAP, Globex, gap fill. Remember, ES is coming into this right now. That's how weak ES is. So ES is the easier asset to get short on this morning. Come on, market. Okay, New York Open here. ES about to fill its gap. No breakdown on NQ yet. We're just coming back down to where it found bids this morning. There's bids here, passive bids on the tape, 50s, 40s, 35s, 25s, 20s. There's your New York Open. This is key now. Are they going to actually let go and expand the low of day? Otherwise, they go straight back up to VWAP here. Here we go. There are bids here on the tape. I just want to take all of these guys out if we're going to lean on this. Here we go. All right, short side, bang, lovely. Stop in the money. Let's see if we can get to Globex. So this is number 2 attempt at this same trade here now, folks. So let's see how far we can go down here. So already TP1 into opening range low. Can we get acceptance lower? ES now closed its gap. Just be aware of that. ES has closed its gap. If it wants to find a bid here, NQ has relative strength, it will turn upside. So ES has closed its gap. We must stay heavy versus New York Open for any continuation. We must stay heavy versus New York Open for any continuation. ES closed its gap. They're starting to cover some of their positions on ES here. Now, how we act at this gap is important here on ES. Just watching ES here. Here's the New York Open retest. If they squeeze back through this, it's going to go right to VWAP again. So again, like I said, aggressive with the stops, locking in money because we're early looking for that backside play. And ES is finding a bid off here. I can show you. All right, ES already closed its gap, finding a bid. That yellow line, it's closed its gap, it's finding a bid. Unless ES sees continuation, NQ will have relative strength and print back through. They're very, very hard to time these when we're looking for these moves. Yeah, locked in some nice money on that one that time. Straight back to VWAP. So no acceptance under the opening range. ES, no acceptance under its PDC. It might go back for the 24-hour VWAP on ES and then see how it operates. If it takes too long, it's going to get a convergence of both VWAPs here. I still think there's more downside coming in this market, but it's just whether NQ wants to play bull here. Amazon's starting to go red on the day. All right, so that's closed its gap. So Amazon, Google, heavy. Is there continuation here now? Here we go. Are you going to give us continuation to VWAP and Globex, or are you just going to re-squeeze higher? What are you doing? ES back to its gap. Need a snap here, please. Give us a snap back down to Globex and VWAP. It would be really nice if you want to play bull. And we can have some runners get going. We get thin under 40s because we haven't visited there other than Globex. Here's PDC again. It's coming. It's coming. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Can we get to Globex and VWAP? Come on, market. Get out of the way. Who's this seller down there? Don't be an idiot and ruin this for us. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, baby. So looking to get down to 20s if possible. Lots of bids on the tape here. 35.30, 25.20, and then room to the 26,000. We look good. We look good. We just need to see some continuation. ES has got to stop holding its gap. If it keeps holding gap fill, then we're not going to get that move down to Globex on NQ. Need ES to let go of that gap fill just to help this market rotate a bit more. We're right at that opening range. Amazon finding a bit of a bid. Want to be careful here because it closed its gap. Google the weak one right now. Come on, baby. Just give us a bit more down to Globex and VWAP. That's all you got to do. Let go of this pivot. Let go of this pivot. Come on. One big flush. Let go of it. Stop absorbing it. There's a rebid here again. So they're trying to sell through this guy. He's just rebidding a few times there, like third times rebidding at 35. Once he gets out of the way, we're going to go 20s. So it's just a battle here at 35. So you should be tiny, tiny size. Should have locked some in. Remember, smaller size because we're early trying to play the backside in a pro trend, which is going upside. So I don't use the same size here. Come on. It's a battle of this 35. Once he gets out of the way, I think we're good. ES at PDC, just be aware of that like we talked about. QQQ coming into its VWAP. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get out the way, 35. You absolute asshole. Get out my way. Sell through 35. We need to get through 35 for a flush. That's where they keep absorbing this tape here. Can't get through it. He's gone now. We just need one strong seller to take us down to 20. Otherwise, we're going to get squeezed out here on a rebid. Get out the way, 35. ES got to let go of this PDC, which it's still holding on to. Come on, it's trying. Here we go. Come on, let's go Globex. It's not that hard. We're looking for 20s. We're looking for 20s. ES still holding on to PDC. I'm not going to let this reclaim now. Giving it a chance and a wiggle at 35. I don't want to see a reclaim over 45s now. Because I think if we reclaim 45s, we squeeze back up towards VWAP. So just been scalping on this way down. Morning all. Morning all those joining. All right, so we had an attempt here, so we can go over this. I don't know, where's that New York Open gone? Here. Cut. Here. Looking for this right now. And this if we get really lucky. Remember, ES has already done that move. If ES finds a bid off here, then we're going to get squeezed out. Looks good here. So here's 30s. Remember, we've got VWAP here, previous day high here, Globex here, lower time frame algo. Lots of reasons to start covering some of your position into this move. And then we can hold for PDC and value area high, which is also Globex down there, Globex low. Here we go. Finally, a little bit of movement. This is taking a long time to do a very small move right now. It shouldn't be this hard. Should not be this hard. So lots of buyers still on this tape, absorbing the tape right now. VIX is still going, all right? VIX is still going. It's going up towards yesterday's close. All right, VIX has found that bid that we talked about might happen here for a push up to get some profit taking in this market. Apple now gone red, Google gone red, Amazon not far away. The rest of the market very, very strong. Right, Tesla 0.84% up, Nvidia 0.75% up, well actually 0.80% up. Microsoft 3% up, Meta 0.68% up, and then Google, Amazon, and Apple all just gone red. But they're not too far away from PDC, at least Amazon and Apple, so just be aware of that. All right, out of this on the runner now. I can always add back in, like I always talk about. I don't care getting out on runners, I can get back in. I'm not going to get squeezed out on a position when we're playing for this. Ugly today, yeah, it's just because it's a battle, right? If we think about this, higher time frame is trying to move up. I don't want to be a bidder on this market until we come back to value. So we're trying to play backside, but this, if buyers keep absorbing, If buyers keep absorbing, this can just be this. This is what I'm saying. I'm not going to get squeezed in one of these. This is why I'm not holding these positions, because this is what can happen. So if we don't get the move that we want, this is why we're aggressive with stops, because the continuation, the squeeze can keep happening. This is very much like playing penny stocks. We talked about it last week. All right, so if this is a failed break, and we're looking for continuation, we need these buyers to be stuck. If we don't get that continuation, the moment we come in here, what happens? You get all the shorts down here tripping over themselves, which is why I said at the moment we reclaim 45s, I'm out. On the runner, I'm out. Already well out of this. What happened there? Just shorts getting stuck, I would say. I wouldn't even imagine that's... Or maybe it is news, because we did thin out a little bit. Let me have a look. I'm not seeing any news. I just think it's shorts getting stuck. That's all that is. It's going to be like this for a little while. There was big buys coming there. Yeah, look at that. 232 lot, 189 lot, 115 lot, 85 lot, 87 lot, 126 lot. Those are shorts covering. I absolutely guarantee you those are shorts covering the 45s. You see where I said I'm out if this reclaims 45? I was already out and then they get squeezed out. This is going to keep happening, folks, until we put in a top. Until we get a shift in structure, you're going to get this type of move. You need to be aware of it. This is what happens when the market is over exuberant and you get buyers trying to hold it up and shorts playing for the move, but being a bit stubborn on their position, let's say, being a bit stubborn on their position. All right, so here was the trade back inside. Failure, add, cover, fully out, squeeze up. If they bid this, they go higher. If they fail this now, they go lower. If they've just convinced buyers to come in on that short squeeze, we go lower. And this is what's going to happen for the next few sessions. The easier trades probably come Friday. I hate to say that on a Friday, but once we've got all the earnings out of the way, next week probably really good. Big buyer stepping in here. Big buyer here. 223 lot just came through. And he's paired off, so even more. It's about 500 lots just come through here, buy side. Right here, right now at VWAP. So I'm just going to let this shake out. So I made nice money this morning on not too many big moves here, making what we can. It's a bit like yesterday. Yeah, there is news at 10. There is news at 10. Thank you. It is consumer confidence at 10 o'clock, I believe. Is that right? Yeah. ES holding PDC. So that last spike on ES took it from sort of 08s up to 20s, back down to 08s, and it's found a bid there again. So that PDC on ES holding. So just think about the weakness. ES is all the way down here right now. This week is going to require patience. I tell you, folks, if you are used to just trading pro trends where we go value to value, this is not the week for you currently. We are outside of major range. We're in frothy levels. There isn't much left to aim for upside. Anyone who read the newsletter, we've hit all the targets. Every single target's been hit. So we're having to produce more targets. Even this extension today hit another fib. We can do up to 100 will be 100% move of this last move here. Right, this pullback here. Right, we've hit the 161. If it wants to do a measured move, we can go up to the 100s right here, as you can see. But we're lacking targets, higher time frame, like we talked about, the daily above the daily Bollingers. Again, this is very unusual to see this happening, but we are not in a usual market right now. And we've got no data in this market. Still, the government not back to work. So no real data. Any numbers we're getting are estimates, basically. All right, here comes the newsprint. Nice. PayPal's found a bit. That's what I want to see, PayPal. Show me some strength, PayPal. Order flow, it all depends on, I don't know if that's aimed at me, but it all depends on what account I'm trading. And also on the size of the stop. All right. So if your stop's bigger, because we've got more volatility, we size down. Shouldn't be fixed contracts necessarily. When we've got good ATR and you're trading small accounts, you can trade with just 1 or 2 micros. You'll make plenty of money. When we've got smaller ATR, as long as your stop's controllable, you can use more micros. If you're having a very accurate entry, even if we've got a big ATR, if you only need to risk 10, 15, 20 points, you can size up, can't you? It all depends. You should have in your head what your cash stop is per trade, and you should be trading size according to that. Because if you need to give the market 50, 60 points breathing room for your stop to a swing, and you're oversizing because your normal size is, say, 5 minis, you're going to get yourself hurt. All right, we're still midpoint of the range. Nothing's changed here, folks. Still nothing has changed here. All right, rejecting PDC, point of control, POC on the day. Still inside value, still not getting acceptance anywhere into overnight levels, previous day levels. We haven't backtested any of those on the Qs. Relative strength on the Qs is still present. ES looks like it wants to bear flag and break down here to me for a retest under PDC right now. So you've got the VWAPs trading downside on ES and PDC low hanging fruit there for it to come and trade under and then maybe to Globex. So those of you who are trading ES, I'll be watching a rejection of VWAP for a trade back down to 6,901. That's what I think ES is shaping up for right now. Looks much better as a chart right now. Google continues to sell. Continuing to sell here on Goog. Let's go PayPal. Now up 11.23% on the day. This is what I'm talking about. Where is my swing? What am I up on that now? Don't tell me I've closed. Oh my gosh, get that back open. I need this. Why did I close that? Nice. So I'm now up 13% on PayPal. Good. So I'm up 64% on AMD, 29% on Apple, 5% on Amazon, and 13% on PayPal. Brilliant. Nice. PayPal's finally playing. I want it to really get going, though. The unfortunate thing is it's taken so long. If we put a top in this market in this week and start pulling back, they will go risk off. They will exit that. So I'll need to trim some. All right, you can see liquidity above on NQ for it to aim for right now. Let's check the ES. It doesn't look too attractive to me. Yeah, liquidity above right now. We've got sellers here on NQ, 75, 80s, 95, and 100s, and then some 115s. There are some buyers down at that 26,000. So they're trying to do what looks to me like an inverse head and shoulder on NQ to move higher. There's no way I'm buying here for that move to high of day. It can just do it without me. There's just no way I'm playing upside in this market right now. Even though it can keep squeezing higher, until we test some key levels of value, I have no interest. I mean, we haven't even tested this liquidity here. We've done a little sweep and a go upside. That's it. And it's just an internal. It's no, thank you very much. No, thank you very much. I know we're upside biased in this market, but I'm not buying the froth. It's been like this the last few days. Tighten range. We're trading, to give you an example, we're trading in 65 points of range right now. That's why we're being cautious and careful. We do not have big range in this market this morning. 65 points is all we've traded in from top to bottom this morning. That's it. So if you were to trade right now, you'd need to be giving, if your bias was upside, you'd need to risk the swing low. You'd be 1-to-1 trade. 30 points downside, 30 points upside. Nothing to do here, folks. Nice and patient. Yes, back to its VWAPs here. Back to flow zones on an M5. Spider's trying to do the same, trying to get back up to its VWAP. Just looks way better for a sell in the spiders than the Qs here. Way, way, way better. ES looks great for a breakdown, in my opinion. it's shaping for that breakdown. Some sellers coming in here again on the Qs. I'd love to play the Qs short. They're just not setting up for it. ES looks really good. We can join the Qs if and when they're ready. But ES looks fantastic. I think as long as it keeps rejecting these VWAPs, if it starts rolling over here for a bear flag on ES, you might get that move back down to 6,900. But you're going to have to wait for the backside. You've got to wait for this sort of push up to be built and a rejection of VWAP and flow zones and then some backside continuation. If they don't give you backside, then they get a re-squeeze back up. So don't be early on it if you're trading ES. Just give it time, build out the liquidity. You can join when it's ready. There goes ES, starting to test towards that low now. So I'd say 10s to 06s are key. It starts letting go of that. Sorry, just texting my wife. She's in New York at the moment. She's saying, can we move here? Can you not choose a cheaper city? Do we have to go from London to LA to New York, honestly? Please. Can't we go and live in Uzbekistan or something? Kazakhstan. Oh, yes, FOMC tomorrow. Yes. FOMC and earnings. Just as important. All right, we've pretty much probably priced in FOMC. I think it's like a 97% chance of a rate cut they've priced in at the moment. All right, back down towards this New York Open. Oof. 20-point chop. 20-point chop. Yes, back to view up. VIX trying to hold and find a bid on previous day high. So it had that explosive move out this morning on VIX, pull back in, which got the sell on ES, and now it's trying to see if it can base above PDH. Q's doing absolutely nothing here this morning. Let's have a look at GC. Is it still selling? Let's come into that pivot. That would have been a nice cover point. So I'd say if you're trading GC, I'd be watching how it acts into sort of this pivot here for 420s. If it reclaims that, it visits the other side of the range. If we reject that, it's new lows, or if we do that, it's new lows for those who are trading GC. But it might well find a bid here and like reclaim that range. You have to see over the next few sessions. That would be my target upside. All right, still strength in NQ. Like I said, it can be this inverse head and shoulder. There's just no way I'm trading this, man. No chance. Flow zone's flat, VWAP flat. We've hit the key levels. This is froth up here. We're well outside any deviation for it to aim for. So again, a bit like yesterday, it can keep going upside. I'm not going to force my way short side, but I'm going to stick to my rules. ES rejecting its VWAPs right now. Yeah, Miguel, I'm not moving to New York. I've always said hard no to her on that. That's why she's messaging. She's just out enjoying herself. Because it's a city, we like walkable cities, and we don't have that in Los Angeles. Nothing here is walkable. We like centralized cities really good, but I'm not going to swap one expensive state for another expensive state. How about Bangkok? I could probably do Bangkok, to be honest. I could probably do Bangkok. No chance, Chicago. I need to be by water. Need to be by water. That's the hard thing. Need a city close and water. Like hot water. That's why I don't want to do New York. Same reason. I need something surfable. No. Like sea. Like surfable. Sorry, BU. Like surfable water. So that's why like Asia is attractive. South of France is attractive. Even the odd part of Spain is attractive. LA is attractive for that reason and only that reason. And go for a surf. Yeah. I'd be quite happy with a lake, but yes, Jess is a big surfer, so and that's why I'm always like, why do you want to live in New York? She's like, oh, you can surf further up the coast. I'm like, it's freezing. You're absolutely mental. Yeah. Costa Rica is another one she loves going to. Nicaragua is another one she loves going to. She goes surf trips there every year. For me, I wouldn't care. Yeah, I spent some time in Australia when I was on tour there. Sydney, I didn't love Sydney. It was a cool city. I actually preferred like Brisbane personally. I had a great time in Brisbane. This market's asleep. It is asleep. Yeah, see, Glenn used to live in Brizzy. I really like Brizzy. I think Brisbane's cool. Obviously, I can't move there, so I've got no reason to go. I need a visa. You joking? I'm a Londoner laid back. This isn't Aussie. This is a UK accent. Aussie accent will be like that, mate. Oh my god. This fucking market ain't moving anywhere. That would be Aussie. You're good. Oh, I can't finish that sentence on stream. I'll get banned. But where see you next Tuesday is a sign of affection. Oh mate. Oh mate. Yeah. Come on, market. I'm gonna go to sleep soon if we keep doing this. It's going to be a slow upside drift by the looks of it. ES is stuck under VWAP. We've already reclaimed the VWAPs. We're in value right now on this session. It's probably going to go for a squeeze or upside drift unless ES starts rolling over at this point. VIX is still holding PDH. There's absolutely no edge right now in this trade. There's no edge to be traded. This is why I've got my arms folded. Not interested. Yeah, Okan, we were looking at that. Some spots actually are like Valencia is every now and again surfable. It's not the best waves, but at least from Spain, you're not too far from Morocco or south of France, which is very surfable, or Portugal, which is also surfable. Okay, back to VWAP. ES still rejecting its VWAP. VIX underneath the PDH. Chop, 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 chop. You can see here, folks, this is why I'm not interested. It had the chance to break down. It's squeezed. It's reclaimed. This is a build out of liquidity. Right now, here's your value on the day. There's no range in here to be traded for me. Right, this New York Open right here is key. If we start getting weak under there and we start breaking down under these levels, we can attack this, this, and this. And if we come down into these levels and we offer some form of trap, we can play upside, especially if we come down into here. Until that point, I'm not interested in trying to force my way against it, and I'm definitely not bidding this market up. No chance. No chance. Still liquidity on the book higher to fill. Right, these sellers want to get filled. 75, 80, 90, and 100. So back down towards that New York Open here. The edge of this range that we've just created. Just in here. I'm interested if we let go of stuff. If we start showing follow through. Starting to see that turn in the market though. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, all red now. But Meta only just. All right, it's basically closed its gaps. Not seeing follow through yet in those names. In Google, you're seeing follow through downside. In Apple, Amazon, and Meta, you're not seeing follow through. They've gone green to red, but you're not seeing follow through on the sell. You're just seeing the gap being closed. So just cautious there. Microsoft still holding well. PayPal approaching 12% up, like looking good. So I'm going to just sit in that swing all the time. We can hold that. Sorry, team. This is 2 days in a row now like this, isn't it? No, there's no short right here, Neo. Like, even if this pukes, what's your short? You explain to me what the short is. You're in the middle of value, right? If we think about this, you're in the middle of your opening range. You're in the middle of current value. You're at fair value. Everything's flat. What's your edge? I don't think there's an edge. Even if you take this short and it works, I don't think that's a setup. There's a difference, right, between a trade going your way and a trade being a setup. That's a gamble here for me. Long or short here is a gamble. There's no edge in this market. And the easier move currently is probably upside. Probably upside, the easier move in this market, because it's where there's least resistance right now. It can keep drifting higher. But yeah, just know that, like, try and get out of that dopamine hit scenario where, like, you just put something on for the sake of putting something on and it goes your way. That's the worst thing that could ever happen. If you put a bad trade on without really understanding it's a bad trade and it goes your way, it's the worst thing that can happen, because you're going to feed your brain reinforcement. That dopamine hit's going to come, and next time you see that non-setup, you're going to take it again and you're going to wonder why you lose. So for me and how I trade, there's nothing available here. If anything, there's an upside drift, and I'm not playing that. We just wait. Patiently wait. There are big moves coming in this market the next 48 hours, I promise you. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be absolutely monstrous. I'm not going to trade FOMC. Definitely not with my live accounts or PA accounts. No chance. Very good chance we've already priced it in. Maybe they're getting an exuberant move and give it back Thursday. I'm way more interested in the day after FOMC every single time. Okay, back down to the edge of this range. ES still rejecting its VWAP at the moment. It cannot get a close over its VWAP at the moment. VIX starting to find a bid back through PDH. Whippy both sides right now. Just move to a 5-minute chart if you need. Right, we've not moved this morning. Right, we are not moving this morning. It's good these days, and seeing your patience. Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time, isn't it? It's so key to sit on hands. Sitting on hands. Okay, back down towards this New York, towards that value on the day. Value area low in the New York session right now is 53. New York open is 51. Right, until they get acceptance below that, hard to see follow through. We're starting to see a bit more follow through some of these mag names here, folks. So let's just see here if they're going to start letting this go. So Meta's had a bit more follow through, now 0.20% down on the day. Here's the New York Open and under. So are they going to let this go? ES doing that bear flag kind of move that I said I would want to see. Not convinced yet that they don't just reclaim. So just nice and patient here. We can join. If a trend develops, we can join. What we're not going to do is get stuck and get trapped. All right, while this chops around, I'll use the bathroom quickly and check on my dog. Look at that. No movement. Absolutely no movement. ES tried to get back through PDH there, failed. Might have completed its two leg there, but now it's starting to try and reclaim flow zones and VWAP. Bit more follow through on some of these mag names like we talked about. So I'm interested here how we operate, because Apple, Amazon, Google, and Meta are starting to sell. Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla still holding up very, very, very well. So let's see. Are we going to see some follow through outside of this opening range that we've created today? Outside of that New York Open, is ES going to roll over from VWAP and go back towards those lows? If not, then a resqueeze can happen. So just very, very, very patient here. But if they start rejecting sort of 57s and creating lower highs and lower lows, you might get a rotation down. Remember, the easiest move right now is upside. ES is starting to find a bid. Just not really, I'm not looking at this thinking, oh, there's an A+ setup here. There's nothing here screaming at me to get involved. Say a little prayer for those in Jamaica who will be affected by the hurricane. Yes. Very true. Very sad, that. Big old hurricane on the way. What have they called it? Melissa. I didn't even know that. Hurricane Melissa. Let's have a look. Yeah, already hit there. Very sad. And the chop continues here, folks. So ES still trying to get back through PDH and still finding rejections. It is starting to reclaim those VWAPs on ES, which have flattened out with the flow zones. NQ still cannot reclaim. It's still looking for follow through. Here's the retest of opening range low. And do they come back for Globex is the main question here is like, do they want to come for 24-hour Globex if we're going to see follow through in this? So opening range low here. Initial balance about to be set. Your IB low is down here unless we expand it. 24-hour VWAP is here. So by the time we come down here, 24-hour VWAP will also be IB. Strongest sell there on ES. Okay, selling starting now, folks. So let's see. Can we offer something for a continuation? I want to short at low of day if we're in a range. So let's just see. See if they can set something up here. Let's get those likes up, folks. We need to get to 150 likes. We give away an Apex account and one of the introduction courses. Still staying patient. Want to see if we start rejecting value in New York for that rotation. Otherwise, we've not really got much to play with here in terms of size or ATR or targets unless we really start letting go. But the MAG, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Meta are starting to sell a bit more here. So let's just watching this. I'm not in anything. We're watching to see how we operate into this current value area low in New York. If we start to reject it, I want to see ES roll over as well. Otherwise, not interested. I'm not going to get myself caught here. ES finding a bid on VWAP for now. Don't like the current H1, how we've set up an H4. It's still bidding above 2620s, 2625s. We didn't make a new high, so we haven't trapped anyone at the highs on H1, H4, just trading sideways. So it's definitely, there's not going to be an A plus here today unless something changes sentiment-wise. Let's go PayPal now, 12.5% up. Fantastic. I want to see it break through 80s. And I really want PayPal to start having continuation. All right, need PayPal to really get going. We've got a bit of decent size in that. Okay, opening range low here. ES trying to get back through PDH. So we've got complete divergence and VIX holding on to PDH as well. So complete divergence in the market right now. Not seeing any aggressive participants today. Not yet, anyway. Long day ahead, remember, folks. We're only an hour in. Long day ahead. So ES trying to pivot through PDH, starting to try and go. Opening range, sorry, initial balance now set. Our current lower day is our IB, which is also VWAP. Still holding on to the orb here. And it looks like it wants to test that IB and see if there's continuation under it for Globex. That looks like what it's trying to do at the moment. That IB currently 29, 24-hour VWAP right under that. ES still not getting through previous day high yet. Stuck between PDH and VWAP here on ES. If they find a squeeze here, it can get pretty nasty pretty quick, I would say. You just want to be careful because they're setting up very, very differently. Look at ES, the grind back, like nice strong sell-off, and just a slow grind back for how long? About 45 minutes here. Other than that, like one big candle which got sold into. I'd imagine they'd want to clear out IB and come to view up and Globex and see and like sort of double check that level. But if ES keeps drifting upside, maybe we don't do it. I'd imagine we want to come and sort of clear out this purple and green line and then see if there's a buyer down there, and if not, come back down to this level here. There's not really much tradable right now unless they start accelerating. Here we go. Right, here's that move we just talked about. Now, do they flush this? There's view up and IB. Now, are their buyers going to hold this? If not, we're going to go Globex straight away into the 20s. There's IB and view up. Do they flush this back down to 20s now? There are buyers down there at 20s. So they're holding IB and view up like we just talked about. This is the next level, is sort of down here. There's some buyers down here on this pivot. And then under this. If we get under all of this, I'll be interested in a pro trend short, because we'll leave all these buyers up here trapped. ES starting to reject now previous day high. It needs follow through. ES needs a kill candle down, and then we can start moving as a unit together. PayPal just lost 2% there on that sell, so I'm watching all these other names if they start going risk off. UNH, RGTI, all these names. Here we go. Here's Globex, folks. So here's the reflush throughs to the 25s we just talked about. Buyer here at 20s. Under this, we go Globex, previous day high, lower time frame algo, PDC still available if they actually want to do a gap fill today. So watching this initial balance. If they reclaim IB, then it's a bit of a weird one today. If they reclaim IB, then I'd be watching for that move back to New York and 60s, which is view up, not 24-hour view up, New York view up. But it really depends if they're going to sell IB and view up here or not. Are we going to get expansion of the initial balance today for a downside move, or are they just going to trap underneath this, reclaim? Watching ES as well. ES still holding on. Just such different charts. So like NQ printing at low of day, ES has made a low of day, closed its gap, has started grinding all the way back up, and is not getting acceptance over PDH. They're just so different right now. And here comes the whippiness. You can see it coming into the market. They're battling now over these levels of like, are we going back above initial balance, or do we need to sell back down to Globex and go through it? Here's IB. Here's VWAP and IB. Decision point coming up. And if they go through this, they're going to go straight up to the orb. ES still not rolling over yet. I think there might be a deeper move in here, even if it's just going to be a trap. But I can't see anything to really play off at the moment. It seems just like very choppy, very efficient, and not in alignment. That would be the key thing. I don't feel like we're in alignment between the indexes at the moment. So rotation off the IB right now. ES holding. God, ES looks ugly since that low this morning. And are we going to go all the way up to New York Open now? So just choppy. Becoming fairly uninterested in this market at the moment. If there's no follow through either way, I'll probably stop this stream early. It'll be a bit like yesterday. There's nothing to do here. So unless they're going to offer a decent setup with some follow through, and right now I can't see anything. Everything just seems a bit lackluster. No impetus to sell or take profits from those trading the mags. No news to make them take profits. They're sitting fairly comfortable. No follow through to the downside yet. And no reason to be buying the high, and no reason to be buying a pullback yet, I would say. Like, I don't think we've pulled back enough. I mean, are we going into like a horrible broadening formation? It's possible. It's possible. Back towards New York we go. Yes, back to PDH. seller here at 45. This is the opening range retest. Above here, you've got New York Open and current value on the day. And acceptance in here will mean a failed breakout of the low, and we'll go back into range rotation in here. So sellers need to step on the gas here and now, and they don't look like they want to do that on ES, but they need to step on the gas on NQ here and now. Otherwise, we're going to get acceptance back into the range that we're in for about an hour. And at that point, there will probably not be anything to do for us. ES looks like it wants to keep moving higher at this point. Oh dear, another terrible New York trading day. A whopping 65 points to play with. I remember when this was normal on NQ, when 65 point was your normal market. We have been spoiled this year. Here goes ES starting to break out, going for that, whatever that wick high was. I don't know if it was a news piece or what, but sort of into the 20s, 1925. 6919.25 it looks like where it wants to go to. Big buy just came on the tape there. So these shorts at the low starting to get squeezed out, and we're going to go back into that absolutely death chop range that we just spent all morning in by the looks of it. Less than ideal, folks. I would say less than ideal if we get acceptance through New York Open. We don't really want to see acceptance through New York Open, only because it's going to mean there's no trade. So if we reject that and start to come back down, vaguely interested in what we can do next, I would say. But a big buyer just came in right here in this value level. Is the mag starting to find a bit of a bid here? Looks like it. What are we doing? Is ES going to find a bid above previous day high, or is that going to be a reflush? Man, this is slow. This is really slow. I got a feeling we're not going to get those likes up today because you guys are bored. You're not hitting the likes, so we're not going to do giveaways either. It'll be 2 days in a row. This is awful. Is there going to be follow through downside? Here we go. Right, do they protect this now or not? Can we see that move to Globex? Can we go and close the gap on NQ? So rejected flow zones there nicely. Rejected New York Open. This is a good sign, but this is where we just found a bid off, and we've got this sort of weird reversal type trend line coming on. Here's the initial balance. If we're going to expand this, we're going to go 18s or 20s, and then we're looking for PDC. Here we go. Who else is joining in here? I'm not seeing too many of the names. I want to be careful here. I'm in short now. I'm looking for expansion. Again, aggressive with the stop. I feel like this buyer up here just got himself caught. So there's a big transaction here. Rejection of New York. Starting to break down. All right, need to see follow through now into these levels. And I will consider ads on pops if we roll. If we roll, want to be very careful on a reclaim, especially with ES holding on. So again, like I talked about at the very beginning of the stream, see money, take money, hold runners, smaller size for these moves. I'm not, yes, beautiful. Okay, here we go. There's Globex. All right, watching PDH, 13s and lower time frame algo. So low teens and under low teens, there is a bigger move coming. If we can get under low teens, think about that grind up we did. And it's been like this for a few days, right? Think about this. We're trading back into RBS, right? So this blue level is a cover point. But if we let go of this, we can come back down into this. And if we let go of value, it's the same story here. We can come and clean this up. Doesn't have to be today. So I'm seeing money, taking money off the table when it's available. And we'll see what else we can get as we get through the session. where we keep bidding off this sort of reversal trend line. I want to see us trade through all of this down here. Yeah, starting to let go of VWAP. We're looking better here. Need to stay heavy versus initial balance and VWAP now. And I want to get some size off down here and here if possible. Come on market. Come to PDH at least, come on. Can see there's lots of passive buyers on the tape down here. Into the teens and the 26,000, that 26,000 whole number. So interested if we can get down into that. Come on. Got a limit just hanging out at PDH right now to get picked up. Come on, baby. ES looking much better here. Here we go. All right, fill on this. No, you're going to fill me on that? Don't you be a cock tease. Missed me. It missed me. How much did it miss me by? A point. Ah, you bugger. Watching VWAP and IB here. Don't want to see it reclaim this. It might well reclaim this and then offer a reshort, but I don't really want to see it reclaim this. It'd be much better if we built out here, but it might be that it needs to come into here first, which is not ideal. Because if we get too many shorts stuck down here and we get into this, they get squeezed out. So I want to stay heavy versus VWAP and IB, really. Just gives me more confidence of continuation. These are our cover points, right? Your cover points are here. So we're looking to take partials here, here, here. If we get really lucky, we get all the way down there. That would be magnificent. Come on, let me out of this one. Don't be a dick for a tick. Come on. It's coming. They're wiggling. It's coming. You're going to get me a cover here. Give me that cover. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be patient. Yes, at Globex as well. Vic's finding a bid, which is fantastic. Oh, you're not going to give it to me. Oh, don't you dare. I've got to drag this off. Trying to hold on for it. Come on, fill me, fill me, fill me, fill me, fill me, fill me, fill me. Fill me, fill me, fill me. Come on. Need ES to reject VWAP here. Tight ranges. I probably should have taken it. I thought about it and didn't take it. Could have got a bit more size off. I hope I don't regret that. All right, ES back to VWAP. Let's see if they reject ES on VWAP here for downside. We need to do the same here on the Qs. Otherwise, I'm just going to cut it. Can always get back in. Especially when we're playing these moves down. Can always get back in. Globex here. PDH coming. Is there any follow through? Is there any follow through? Come on. Let's go. Get on the PDH and sell. Come on, please. Give me the cover. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Woohoo. All right, there's lower time frame algo. All right, so feeling good in this now. All right, let's see if we can keep selling here. Globex down here. We're looking for basically the whole number. Again, patience pays. Patience pays. Let's go, baby. All right, should be covering some here. So next targets are Globex, but you can call it 26,000. It's going to be a big over under this kind of orange level and just above. And if we sell that, we can close that cash gap. But most of the damage we've done now, which is fantastic. Oh my God. All right, so this player up here was the clue. Thank goodness. He bought heavy into New York, which we rejected, and then we played downside. So it's adding into these moves and covering here. Oh, I don't know if any of you got that with me. It's not easy today. Hopefully some of you got it. We're holding that PDH and lower time frame algo. These are big, big levels. All right. I still think there's a chance to close the gap here, but you're going to have to see some follow through. Google, the only one really selling with follow through. Apple is pretty much flat. It is red, but it's pretty much flat. Meta approaching 0.5% down. Amazon 0.18% down. The other mag names are still green. Tonio got it, but on ES, nice mate. Tyson got it. Troy got it. John Dennis got it. Jesse got it. Yeah, there's not a lot of range to play with here, folks. Like our initial balance is 65 points, and we're probably trading at about 80 points on the whole day. So it is a tight range here. You've got to be taking your profit when it's available. Ken got it. Psychosis got it. Nice work, folks. All right, ES back to PDH. You want to be careful here on reclaims. Be careful here on reclaims. Do not be adding into this if it keeps going. All right, just be willing to cut your positions. Be happy with what you got as we trade back upside and fill that little imbalance that we talked about. So I want to be very, very careful. I've already cut my position now on the reclaim of initial balance. Like I said, I'm not going to add up here. Even though this might be where the add is, I just want to wait because it just feels a little bit sensitive to me at the moment. If they've put in a higher low here versus VWAP and IB, we go back to New York. We go back through New York and value. We go screaming upside. So I'm just like, take it when it's available and leave it when it's not. That's the market we're in right now. Because remember, overall, we're in a bullish market. We have not pulled back enough for me want to buy. Even this pullback today into PDH, I know this is an RBS level, but if we just zoom out for a minute, all right, we are still pretty much vertical. All right, the bigger short's going to come under here. That's going to be the bigger puke, right, under these levels here. If we even think about the daily, right, we're still above 2 standard deviations. It is not like we've revisited a breakout point for us to buy off, all right, or filled an imbalance or filled the gap, all right? It's not like we've traded back to a 5-day or a 20-day or filled this gap or held this gap. You know, we're still frothy at the highs. So for me, I'm not looking to buy this, even if it squeezes higher. That's okay. I need to buy value, or I need to look for backside plays. And like we said, if we're going to play backside lower time frame, we have to be very, very careful. Hopefully I've kept you safe. If nothing else, hopefully I've kept you safe. Same as yesterday. PD got it. Nice. Christine got it. Tyson got it. Nice. You're welcome, guys. All right, trading back to test value on the session. New York open here, so maybe if they want to go reclaim initial balance, all right, this might be the trade, IB to VWAP, and that would be midpoint. And if they squeeze through that here, if they reject balance, this is where buyers have now stepped in, these 25. So we came down to previous day high, they've stepped in at 25. So anyone that's short underneath 25 now and has not taken profit is now trapped. So this becomes the key level as we trade back into here. So value and buyers stuck under here, right? Sorry, short stuck under there right now. So whether they let them out or not will become important. Apple just went red to green, by the way, folks. So yeah, I'd say fairly sensitive. We're still in rotation. 10 minutes or 9 minutes until the new hour. This just looks like an H1 inside bar so far, if we think about. at this bar on the hourly. Right, this is an inside bar. We haven't taken out the old hourly low. We haven't taken out the old hourly high. This is a good sign that we're building liquidity in here. Enough of one side is trapped. We'll either do a failed breakout, or we're just going to break out and continue, or break out and continue. All right, so liquidity is being trapped in this section here right now. All right, which is basically in New York Open. It's 9 a.m. all the way to 11. We have not expanded that 9 to 10 o'clock range. So just understand we're printing an inside bar until it proves otherwise right now on the hourly. The easiest way to see that, we are basically inside of the initial balance. Right, we're just inside. And you've got divergence, right? Understand the difference. ES was a really nice sell this morning when the VIX, right? If we look at this, big sell, really nice when the VIX was doing a really nice move upside, right? Really nice squeeze. Protected previous day low, through previous day close, through previous day high, and now trying to base up here. All right, so we had nice moves on the ES. I'd say after that move, this is god awful. All right, this, I don't know what that is. I'm going to call it a dart pool print, but this slow walk up and then flush and then hold, and then now we're into battleground in here, and we're inside of IB. We're in the VWAP. We're probably around point of control, because I would say we built out so much volume here. Point of control is probably VWAP. Your edge is disappearing in this market today. At the moment, it can change, but I'd say at the moment, here you go. So now we're seeing what we just talked about. Sellers got caught underneath this right here. You can see some strong selling down here. Got caught underneath this. This pullback in held. So they're not letting these sellers at lower day out. It's very possible that IB, if they reclaim value, goes to VWAP at this point, and then point of control. So I'd say this move here is possible, and that can be a two leg, and maybe they sell that back down because we're in range rotation. I expect, you know, the rotation to happen in here until it proves otherwise. Hopefully that makes sense. Amazon about to close its gap and go red to green here as well. Meta not far away. So the mag's starting to find a bit of a bid by the looks of it. This might be, again, I'm not taking these, but if they hold initial balance and those 20s here, there is a trade up to the New York Open and the New York VWAP. Ramon, is good when people explain something like that and can learn something with this. Yeah, I don't know if it's your first time here, Ramon, but I will always talk through the market every day. It's probably what I try and set this stream apart from other streams who might well just say I'm long, I'm short, or whatever. I will try and explain to you what's actually happening in the market. I'll give you context. So you can see now, this is exactly what we just talked about. The short stuck at the lows. There's your pivot. There's your big engulfing. There's your pullback in that held buyers, protected this. Short stuck under this. Here's current range low. We've got volume here. All right, so that would be TP1, and they will try and get up into this now. And this would be your IB to VWAP trade if it plays out. Again, it's not something I'm playing today. I would prefer this trade if we were at value. Man, I'm not sure about this England team that's just been announced to play Australia in the rugby. Finn Baxter at 1. Okay, I agree. Jamie George at 2. Okay, I agree. Joe Hayes at 3. Not bad, but I don't know if I would start like Genji or Stewart. You know, seems a bit odd. Toji, Chesham, yeah. Pepper, no, wouldn't have started him. Underhill, no, wouldn't have started him, I don't think. Benel, yes, I would have started him. And they've put Curry and Pollock on the bench. I mean, Pollock on the bench makes sense, so maybe I would start Curry. So maybe you go Earl, Curry, Underhill, play one out of position. And then the backs. Mitchell at 9, Shaw. Ford at 10, Sure, he's playing really well at the moment. Faye Boso at 11, absolutely. Dingwall, I know people say he's the glue. I'm not sure about that still. Not an international 12 for me. Freeman at 13, no. I mean, great player, but maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I just don't see him as a 13. Roebuck at 14, Stewart at 15. Don't mind Stewart at 15. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they prove me wrong, but I'm not convinced on that. Not convinced on that English squad. All right. Well, we're barely moving, aren't we? We are barely moving, guys. We need to get these likes up. There's a few of you who haven't hit it yet. All we need to do is get it to 150. Share the stream with your mates. Let's get this stream moving. I want to start getting more regular people in here, because then I can give the stats to the prop firms and we can give you guys more back. We need to get some growth. I'm not convinced why you'd want to watch some of these other people who have thousands of people watching them teaching you absolutely nothing, but apparently you do. Well, you guys don't, but apparently people do. All right, so you can see on the book, 45, 50, 60, 65, resting liquidity. Waiting to see some aggressive participants come into this market today. Not seeing it either side, really. We had some aggressive buying this morning at about 10 o'clock into those 60s. We had some stops being popped in the drive up here into this level. So there's buyers stuck. Well, shorts got popped into here and then we failed. We're holding sort of this expanding trend line we talked about is sort of starting to hold, isn't it? Morning, Mo. Hope you're good. I replied to you on, I think that was you on Instagram, right? I only saw that the other day. All right, back to IB, back to VWAP. ES back to initial balance. ES just put in a lower high there. Does ES start to break down? We're still in range rotation. I'm not convinced on anything right now. We're inside IB, protecting IB. We're failing this little volume node here right now. I'm just, I lack conviction in this market at the moment. Doesn't feel like we're really moving. New hourly bar about to come here as well, folks, in 30 seconds. Just be aware of that. New hourly bar coming. Turn this brightness up on this volume. Should I do it as maybe white? Yeah, that's better. I wish the NinjaTrader volume would let you do value and outside of value as different different colors. I think it'd be way better. Template save. Okay, new H1 bar here. Starting to see that move back up to the upside we just talked about. ES just looks like it's starting to wedge in. Lower highs and higher lows, not attractive. Not attractive, ES. Mag all gone green now, other than Goog, like we talked about. A bit of a volume shelf here where we're at now. If we get through this, we can trade up to sort of 56s pretty quickly, I'd say. All right through here, we can trade straight up to here. We're pretty thin in here if they don't protect that, so I'll be watching that. And again, like we talked about, the H1, the last H1 just printed an inside bar. It's all it did. Yeah, gold will be trading better today by the looks of it. Gold was due that pullback inside. I'll be watching for that move back up to, we talked about it earlier, 4.2s, was it? Yeah. And basically 3985 up to 4020. I'd be looking for a retracement leg into there and then to see if they sell at that point if I was trading gold, which I'm not. Okay, ES catching a bit of a bid into that thin volume we just talked about. So it's probably very likely you're going to get that IB to VWAP trade, and the next shelf sort of starts at 56s, somewhere around there. So that IB to VWAP trade looks very probable right now. Here's your VWAP. So we just talked about it. IB to VWAP. They held IB. There's the move back to VWAP to back check it into this thin structure here. And you've got a new shelf which starts basically around here. So thin. So once it reclaimed that, reprices this into here very, very easily. And you're probably going to get these 50s and 56s, which is starting to get now. So back to New York Open. So we're basically flat on the day. Nothing's changed from the moment we opened. What's that, 90 minutes ago, whatever it is. Nothing's changed. And you'd want them, interested if they protect sort of 56s. If they don't protect 56s, we're going to go to 70s. If we get through 70s, we're probably just going to make a new high on the day. So there's a shelf here. It's all about whether they protect this shelf, which we've just sort of traded into in that VWAP. If they don't protect this shelf right here, and we trade to the other side of it. Should we turn this up a bit? A little bit easier to see, isn't it? So you can see that shelf is about here. And if they reject this, or in front of this after repricing, we trade back down towards the lows. Here's some selling starting. Back down to initial balance and VWAP at the moment. So IB to VWAP, VWAP rejected, back down towards IB. This is the battle. Here's your current value on the day. If they let go of 34s, then we probably come back down towards the lows. If they reclaim 57s, then we probably go back up towards the highs. I know it's a lot of if, buts, and maybes, but it's because we're trading in range rotation. That's how we trade in range rotation. One level to the next, one level to the next. An hour left here. Let's hope we can get some form of movement in this hour so we can get one more trade. It would be nice. Oh, take profit trader processing another payout. Fantastic. Does that mean they've adjusted me on screen? They have. Nice. All right, so IB and VWAP here. If we fail under that, maybe new low of day. If they protect that back towards VWAP, they're just going to keep rotating until they've got one person, or going to treat it like one group of people enough offside. Almost there on the likes. Well done, team. We're almost there. 6 more. Any questions today? Any of you landing here for the first time, not understanding what's going on? Definite slower market. towards that volume node, top of that node, and then we've got a spike out where we last failed at 50s. Do they reject that or not? So what's P value area high? I don't know what P value area high is. What's previous day, previous week? I don't know what you're referring to there, Peter. It's not the only safe spot. I mean, we can get short if we start, if we start leaving all these participants trapped. But right now, all we're doing is rotating. Right, so under here, there's a gap fill potential, leaving participants above trapped. We're not seeing that right now. We're not seeing anything right now. I don't see a trade really in here right now, other than the odd scalp. Like, we had this RBS level. I said, like, it's very well that they bid up off it, but like we talked about, for me, right, I'm not willing to really be getting long above the 900s, because I understand that anything above here is beyond 2 standard deviation on the daily. This is very likely to get wrecked. It's just when. So I'm not looking for longs in this area. Right? Even though I know we can continue, how I play the game says no longs above 2 standard deviation. Maybe a scalp at best if I really, really like it. Even though I can see structure and stuff, it just very much like I talked about yesterday. I'm not changing years and years of hard work because we're having 1 or 2 days outside of standard deviation. Previous day value area high. I mean, we can short down to previous day value area high if we leave buyers trapped. But at the moment, I don't think anyone's trapped in this market. We can short down to here if we leave buyers trapped. We can long from there back up if we want. If we fail previous day value area high and we fail point of control, then we go into a rotation from yesterday. So if we start failing, say we do something like this and we start failing in here, then the rotation will be to check the previous day value. If we fail that rotation, then we're going to check into the gap. If we fail under that gap, we're going to check the other edge of that gap. If we fail that gap, we're going to check previous week value area high. If we find a bid there, we're going to check the gap, then through the gap, then the old value level. Right? We're just going level to level, level to level, level to level. It's all the market's doing. It's all the market ever does. It's just back checking. This just for me is not a market I'm looking to participate in at the moment. Still defending that shelf, that red shelf, still defending it. VWAP still defending it. Reclaim this red shelf, we probably trade to value area high on the session. Reclaim that, new high day. What's that level there? 56. So we slammed straight into that. It's weird. It looks different on trading view from NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader 6. Yeah, this shelf looks slightly different on NinjaTrader, interestingly. A little bit lower. Yeah, good trading, Peter. That's exactly how to trade. Nothing of interest, leave it alone. I've had a couple tiny little scalps, and that's it. There's nothing else to play with, really. Unless something changes, there's nothing else to play with at the moment. We just let it do whatever it is it's got to do. there are good trades coming in here. Like once we get through earnings and Fed rate decision, we will get some good trades. PayPal still holding up. AMD. Oh, AMD, what are you doing? 260s, hang on. You've got a base out here for me, please, buddy. Do I want to take some money off AMD? That's a question. All right, starting to see that failure of this. So just so you know, on NinjaTrader, this was like this. So they're just reading volume slightly differently. But on NinjaTrader, we came into that edge on that spike, rejected it. Coming back down towards initial balance now. If they start failing IB and VWAP, then we're going to go and recheck towards those lower days. Big if, buts, and maybes, but that's where we're at right now. That's what's happening. Here we go. Right, let's watch this now. How do they operate at VWAP? So it's starting to see a back test of this shelf, fail, back into this shelf. If we fail this shelf that we're at now, where we've built out tons of volume, you can see right here. If we fail this, we'll probably come back down in towards this where we trapped those participants earlier. Alex, I got a confession. Made a bad decision today and entered into revenge trades. Closed them as well in losses. It's been a very, very long time. I went out on my waddle. I'm out. Thanks for the help. Still green on the week, but this is a wake up call, so good time to call it off. Yeah. Well done for closing down. If you revenge trade and then you took it out and left, well done. That's the right thing to do. And you just, as long as you're feeling fit and able to trade tomorrow, you come back. But if you wake up tomorrow and you're still feeling a bit of tilt, just give it another day. 26k support is high volume there. I mean, I don't think there'd be that much high volume there, to be honest, mate. We traded very, very thin there overnight. There's volume there from today, but I mean, grand scheme of things, I think you'd find if you moved out right now, all right, really there's not that much volume up there, I would say. Yeah, no, not really. All right, most of your big volume from structure is right down here. This is frothy. Think about this. We lack structure in these moves. It's an extended move. It's very frothy. All right, at some point we probably do this and then that. So I'd be careful. I'd be careful. It's an RBS level, but I wouldn't say it's much more than that right now. All we're doing is just creating a rotational range at the moment. We're just stuck. We're stuck at current value area low. Point is, POC's just moved from top to bottom as well now. My POC was up here. We've moved it down. Daniela, I haven't had anything in the last 2 days. In the middle of passing my first 2 funded, and I bought 4 more yesterday. Now taking into account, I've never been interested in funded accounts. Well, it's good. Like, if you're sticking to your discipline and waiting, it's the right thing to do. Let the market come to you. Let the market come to you. I promise you, there'll be a lot of people getting very frustrated, like flipping their bias, long, short, long, short, long, short, guessing the tops, then buying the top, then guessing the top, then buying the top. You're doing 95% better than everyone else if you're just able to sit still and wait for the trade to come to you. There will be setups coming. Volatility is absolutely setting up this week. If we trap a lot of participants up here, there's probably a bigger flush in the market coming, and then that might very well be absorbed on earnings, and we go right the way back. It would not surprise me at all to see, FOMC be a sell the news event and then bought right back up, or vice versa. FOMC pushed higher and then they sell earnings even though they're good. Like, none of that would surprise me this week. IB and VWAP here again. Starting to feel like they might be looking for a rotation lower here a little bit, but still being careful. We're still holding on to this edge of volume. Oh, it's so slow. I'm not even like drinking my coffee. I haven't had a refill. Normally I do a refill by now. Trying to find the willingness to sit here until lunch. It's hard at the moment. I mean, I don't agree, Edward. I don't agree. I don't agree yet on the 4-hour candle. It might well develop, but like, you're calling for a 4-hour candle, same bearish on ES. We haven't let go of any pivot. Like, I get it. Failing above previous day high, failing above previous day high, failing above previous day high. But there's your higher low. There's nothing that's left buyers trapped up here yet for that move down. There's absolutely nothing yet. Even on a 1H, is your 1H, you're inside it still. You haven't taken either side of this range yet. So, I don't agree. Sorry. It might very well be that it collapses, but until you take key pivots out, there's nothing there that's suggesting that to me. We are in range rotation. We're not in anything else. This is like last week. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. All those people last week that were like, oh, we're going to collapse. It's going to hell. And I'm like, we're in range rotation. What are you talking about? It's in a range rotation. Or when I was short gold, the guy going, oh, the gold's going to the moon. No, it's not. It's in a sell. Like, it doesn't matter what you think, what you hope, what someone else is saying. I wrote it on YouTube last night. All that matters is, what is the structure in front of you on the chart, on the time frame that you are trading and above it? What is that structure? Is there anyone stuck in the market? Is someone offside? Can you use their pain for a trade? That is all that ever matters. Every time you come to the chart, that's what you need to say. Okay, who's stuck? Where are they stuck? Can I use their pain? Is there a move I'm willing to take? That's it. It's actually that simple. I would say in this market, right now, who's stuck? Shorts. Shorts are stuck under here. That's who's stuck. Okay, can I use their pain? Well, we used it already. Do I want to try and use their pain up here? No, good chance that they've probably blown up already. And maybe some keep adding and we get an expansive move higher. I don't know. But I don't want to use their pain to go long anymore, because we've completed the measured move. We've completed the move out the newsletter. There's no more upside for me up here right now that I'm interested in playing. Doesn't mean it can't go up. There's no more upside that I'm interested in playing. Are bulls stuck? Potentially, like we talked about, we have some bulls stuck up here at high of day above this pivot. If this sets a lower high and starts rotating under here, there's a really nice trade down. We're not there yet. It's starting to develop. We're starting to see some signs of it, but we're still in range rotation. We're still protecting. We're between 24-hour VWAP, New York VWAP. We're between initial balance, here's point of control. This is the build out of liquidity. It will make a decision. It will either be something like that or it'll be something like this. But do you want to get involved in this like this, or do you want to wait for someone to take control of the market? Daniela, I've always wanted to flip my personal account and achieve it by myself, but the problem with that is I keep grinding and grinding till the point of one mistake brings some more mistakes. Yeah, that is, personal accounts are great, but if you're not profitable yet and if you don't have self-control, don't go there yet. I trade personal accounts, but I trade it on swing positions. So I actually trade bigger size on swing positions, and I like to hold, as you all know, like most of my positions I've been in now since August, some of them since July. So I'm long Apple 202. I'm long AMD from 158. I'm up $102 on AMD right now. I'm long PYPL from, I think it's 68. So I'm up $10 on PYPL. I'm long, what else? I have to get it up. I'm long a tiny bit left of ALB. I'm probably just going to take the rest off. I sold into the move over 100. And I'm long Oscar, OSCR, up very small on that, 4.66. That's a lighter position. And I'm holding one share of Open Door just for shits and giggles. And I was up 500% on that. I'm much more willing to take positions in my personal account, long-term swings, because I can scale into them. Here we go. So I'm going to see a bit of a breakdown here on ES as it approaches PDC, seeing the opposite here on NQ. So they are not in alignment. They continue not to be in alignment. VIX is trying to break out of a W to an upside for a squeeze out here. We will do a giveaway. Yes, we've hit the 150s. We will do a giveaway here, folks. We're right in this volume. All right, you can see it here. Here's your volume. We broke out of this volume. We rejected this volume. Lower high. This is the rotation. If we let go of this volume, we will probably revisit somewhere down here. And if we let go of that, there's room beneath if they really want to do the rotation. If we reclaim this, the squeeze is on. ES is already down here. ES is starting to sell a bit more aggressively right now, testing the edge of its range towards low of day. NQ not playing ball for that move, but we'll see. VIX looking good for an upside break here. Looks really good, VIX, for an upside break, which will flush NQ down to IB low if it does. Alex, how do you explain the divergence between gold and silver today? Gold selling off, but silver found a strong buy at 45. Let me have a look. Let's just do the futures. GC. I mean, gold's not selling off. Gold's found a bid. Gold isn't selling off. Gold's found a bid. All right, so gold's been in a sell. Remember, I was short from here. Failed to reclaim this. Second leg. At the end of the second leg, it's coming to RBS. It's going to try and find a bid up towards here now. Once it gets there will be key. If it gets acceptance into range, it goes other way. If it fails that, it comes down. So all it's doing is finding a bid off an RBS level because, right, there's your break of structure. After the break of structure, we expect the turn back inside, right, to here. So that is just shorts covering and some bids coming in for that move back to there. Let me check silver. There's COMEX. There you are. Same story. It's exactly the same. I'm not sure what you're seeing is different. Pin high, lower high, break of structure, lower low, pull back inside, fails to reclaim, lower low, probably into an RBS level. Yep, into this RBS level. Now it's going to have a drive back up towards 47.28, 47.30. Reclaim that. and it will test the other side of the range. They look exactly the same to me, mate. There's no difference there structurally. Identical. That low at 4 o'clock. Where was GC's low? $4, yeah, they're the same. They're the same. There's no divergence there for me. Wow, what a boring day. What a boring day. All right, so it's still holding this volume. So still not let go of this volume on NQ. ES still looking like it might want to drift down. VIX still looking like it might want to break out. MAG still mixed bag. I'll give you a readout on the MAG. I'm going to get out of here soon. We're going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to get out of here probably in the next 5 minutes because this is immensely boring as the ES starts to fail previous day high. So Tesla 2.4% up. Nvidia 0.61% up, Microsoft 2.21% up, Meta 0.45% up, Amazon 0.27% up. Weakest one today is Google 0.66% down, and Apple 0.09% down. All right, mixed bag. But MAG, like we talked about last week, talked about it in the newsletter. Last week, Wednesday, Thursday, you saw the rotation back into the MAG 7 names. Why? They're pricing in earnings. They're pricing in earnings. So you saw institutional flow go back into the MAG 7, bidding it back up. All right. What do I mean when I say gold found a bid? Buyers. Remember, if your bid side, right, you've got a bid and an ask. The bid is buyers coming onto the tape, walking the bid higher. Remember, we're in an auction. If the bid moves higher, the value is getting higher. If the ask moves down, the value is getting less, right? Bid, ask, buyers, sellers. It is an auction. The market is an auction. No different to any other auction. There's a move back towards New York VWAP. So ES came back down, hit PDC, found a bid, trading back towards its Globex right now. NQ back towards its VWAP again. And the rotation continues like we talked about until one side is stuck. Okay, yeah, let's do a giveaway. Let's do two giveaways. We'll do an Apex course. We'll do a course and an Apex account for one of you. I'll get this set up for you guys. So thanks for those who've stuck around all day. I know it's been a slower day, but hopefully it's just helped you see, like, not every day is an A+ trade day. Like, maybe it develops later today, but we're just calm, right? There'll be more opportunities. You're not going to make mega money every single day. Your job is to wait for that perfect opportunity to come to you, not for you to be gambling on hope. Talked about it all day. I have not seen much of a setup here. Like, we had a couple opportunities to fade it, and I'm not buying at the highs like this. It's way too risky where we are, right? It's asking for it, in my opinion. Right, enough rambling, Alex. Let's do a giveaway. So let me set this up. Okay, the first one will be for the Apex account. Remember, for Apex and most of the prop firms out there, if you use code FZT, it would get you the best possible discount. Right now on Apex, 80% off and $85 for your activation fee. Type FZT in chat now. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do that, and you can win a free Apex account. All you got to do is type a FZT in chat. Just type it once. All right, ES breaking back down towards that PDC. Let's see if ES takes out the initial balance low, and let's see if NQ is going to let go of this shelf or not. I wouldn't bet on it right now, but we will see, won't we? We will see. guys a couple minutes. I'm just replying to the record label here. Where's this track that they wanted? What was it called? Dang, I can't remember what it was called. Okay, back into VWAP and initial balance again. This is where they need to make a key decision. If we're going to see follow through, we're going to go lower day here. This is the right one. Yeah. Okay, let's pull this winner. Let's pull this winner. Pooley. Are you here, Pooley? If you're here, Pooley, free Apex account on the way to you. Let me know you're here. VWAP here, initial balance here. I'm looking to see if they let go of this. ES right into that PDC here. Nice, Pooley. So all you got to do, Pooley, send me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com with a screenshot of the back end of your YouTube so I know it's you, and we will get you hooked up. Here you go. So I'm interested now. I want to see if this is a pullback which fails and they let go of this shelf for a rotation, or if they're just going to scoop it. If they're going to go back upside again, I'm not playing the upside today. I don't want to bid on this market, even though it can drift higher. Back to the VWAP, and let's do a course giveaway as well before I forget. Watch here for a second. PDC here. Here we go. Here's the reflush. Nice, nice, nice. Right. Is there an expansion into that wick at 20s? And do they let go of it now? Do we get that rotation just before lunch? Sorry, folks. We'll do this giveaway in a second. Just watching this closely. ES back to that IB low. Right. Are we going to get follow through here, market? Remember, relative strength in the Qs. ES into initial balance low. VIX breaking out like we talked about. That W pattern forming. Higher low. Nice little squeeze. And upside it goes on the VIX. So really nice breakout. I think VIX is going to close this gap, and it's probably going to trade, if it fully closes it, into 1636s. So it's got another 10 cents, which might put more down pressure on the ES here for a flush. Here we go. Nice. Let's get through lower time frame. We're coming to it now. Boom. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here goes the VIX for that move. Nice, 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 nice. All right, cover one here. Give me that fill. Thank you. All right, let's see if we can get going under. Yeah. Right, looking for a gap fill here. We're going to do the giveaway afterwards. Obviously, I'm in this now. Waited and waited and waited to let go of that shelf. This shelf here. And we're starting to see that expansion back down into RBS. Really nice. Really, really nice. Sorry, folks. I just had to zone in for that. So lower day taken, straight back upside. So got my partial out into here, waiting to see if they reject this now. ES did just get under initial balance and is trying to reclaim it straight away. So how we act now becomes important. But that flush felt like fairly obvious with how the VIX was operating. Felt fairly obvious just with how the VIX is operating. And will that be enough for them to catch shorts at those lows now? A reflush of the low. So I guess now if they reclaim this, they have enough shorts probably caught offside down here. Look at that big volume, delta at the low, big seller at the low probably got caught there. How much volume? 162, 9, 15, 36, 14, 94. So a good few hundred lots got caught at the low down here, and we've traded away from them straight away. And if we reclaim that, then probably, I would imagine if we reclaim VWAP and stuff, there is a bigger squeeze on for the remainder of the day. Again, I'm not playing that to the long side, but I would imagine if we've just seen this and a reflush into here, I'd say if they reclaim that, then all the shorts are now caught down here. And that is possible. Again, I will not trade that upside, but that's what I would be looking at. All right. Well, it's an RBS zone, isn't it? Here's the RBS zone. It's a big RBS zone. Right, until they get full acceptance underneath it, we don't get the gap fill. All right, big RBS. 1, 2, 3, absorbed numerous times, and the shorts got caught there again. This is the signature always for the reversal. Right, big volume. Right, it's biggest volume we've had since basically 10 a.m. and it's sell side, and we moved away from it. So you got market orders come flying in here for sells, and they're getting squeezed back out now very, very quickly. A little more to my TP down. Oh, you missed it? Yeah, I took it into low date. Any other trade, Alex, I walk away for break even. I like the only other trade I would say is the only trades now setting up is this is the range. If they reclaim this, I would now think there's a good squeeze opportunity because so many shorts are offside. If they just keep rotating in this here would be a gap fill. So I'd play the edges now. Acceptance over, a buy. Acceptance under, a sell. I'd ignore all of this because it's spent a long time doing that, and we just caught what we could here. So once it failed, this here, there's your flush down. And it's, you know, it looks big, but it's only 25 points. It's all the market would give us at the moment. Okay, let's do the course. Back to giveaways. Give me a second here to set it up. So patience again. Waited all day just for a little 20-point scalp, but there we go. All right. Type course in chat now if you want to win. It's the beginner course, 2-hour course, introduction to the markets. But I will say if you do that course, once you complete it, you do get a little gift code off the main course if you're interested in doing the 20-hour long course. All right, so all the way back to New York Open here. What a bounce. What a bounce. Incredible. I'll let you guys fill that out. Back in that range rotation again by the looks of it. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to fill that out. We do a giveaway. ES back to PDC. So let's see if ES... What is this email? Okay. See if EDC find... see if ES finds a bid at PDC and VWAP here. Does it find a bid? Back in that range, back to that high volume node here, back to all the way back down now, it looks like. So ES letting go, and the range rotation continues. I still think there's a chance for this market to break down further on NQ, but not if they're going to hold up the mag. So we're just testing VWAP and initial balance again at this point. Range rotation over and over and over and over and over. That's all we're seeing at the moment. Give you guys one more minute. Yes, reclaiming initial balance. Very, very tight here while it makes its decision. VIX still holding on. VIX still looks like it wants to complete that move to the old PDC to me. Might have one more shove in it on the VIX, which might give one more flush moment on the ES. Doesn't have to come on the NQ because we have relative strength. All right, let's pull this winner. Fresh videos. Are you there, fresh videos? Nice, congratulations. So you win the introduction course. Just, again, shoot me an email. info@flowzonetrader.com. And we'll get you set up with a free course. All right, we're still in that range. I might as well sit here till lunch if we're gonna do something. I'd love to see this expand lower. I'd love to see one more move lower, but we're still inside of value. You can see value on the day. We're not getting acceptance outside of value currently today. We're not expanding value area lower yet. We're holding on to that VWAP, which is flat. If they let go of that VWAP and they let go of initial balance and we start making new lows, then I think there's a chance to close the gap today. But at the moment, you'd have to say NQ doesn't look very willing to do it. So we can only trade what's in front of us. It's not willing to close that gap. ES has already closed its gap. It's actually rejecting its gap and trading underneath it at the moment. So different markets here. We still have strength in the Mag 7, remember, as we roll into earnings tomorrow evening and Thursday evening. All right, folks, I'm going to get a coffee and then we're going to do 15 more minutes and then I'm going to get out here and walk my dog. ES looks like it's going to break down. NQ's still holding on to that volume. This is your node here. This is what it's fighting over. Every time we've come to previous day high, we've found acceptance. I think if the moment we get under that and we start rejecting it, I think there's a rotation down into here available. It doesn't have to be today, all right? So just so you're aware, while I get this coffee, be smart, and I'll be right back. All right, rotation continuing. Nothing to do. So I'm going to leave the next 15 minutes open for you guys. If you want me to teach you anything, go over anything, now is your time to ask, because I don't see the conditions changing here. All right, we are inside initial balance. We are inside current value. We have failed to break down underneath previous day high, which is being protected. So this is technically still bullish range rotation. If they catch enough for this move, they can do it again. It's not a move I'm going to play just based on my daily rules, based on where we are on standard deviations, not based on structure within this because it looks good. But if you've got anything you want to go over, now is your time to ask. Then I'm going to get out of here. ES left volume range. For the session, looks like it's trying. Remember, it's still protecting previous sessions though. Yeah, but this might be a failed look below. This can well be a look below and fail. If this is a look below and fail, they start getting acceptance here. They come back to this midpoint. If they get acceptance through that, they go back to the other side through that. Very, very thin up here. There's your edge. All right. Look below and fail so far. Probably trades inside the range. Look above and accept. New highs. Look above and fail. Back into range. Similar kind of story, except a bit weaker because we filled the gap. Yellow line is gap fill. Again, it's finding acceptance over previous day. And this is what's key, like 9:30. All right, we're finding acceptance above this area. So ES might, if ES gets weak, it would probably want to visit this 895. All right, 6895. Point of control from yesterday, value area high from yesterday. If it fails that, it's going to revisit the lows. All right, value area low and IB low, these areas. So this can be a two leg. They can find a bid off here and print up. If they fail this, we can continue to rotate. Yeah, I'd be watching these levels here. If any acceptance back inside, it probably drifts right back up to here to retest. It's just not, there's not a lot of range to play with. Thanks, Fresh. As soon as I get off stream, I'm going to sort you out, my friend. I feel Asia will get amazing moves again. What, tonight? I think we're just in consolidation. All right, guys, we're in a bit of a holding pattern after a big move. We've completed the weekly move already. Remember, by the end of yesterday, we'd completed the weekly move. If you go to the newsletter, where are you? Okay, let's get you here. Get you this. Go to the newsletter. Remember, this is completely for free. All right. Bullish momentum to continue complete measured move. 25,710, 25,900, 26,000. We've done it. All right, we've done it. We've done the move already. So what are we in a holding pattern for? I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see. Hopefully you can. All right, here. Meta, Microsoft after the close tomorrow, and Google after the close tomorrow. Amazon, Apple, Coinbase after the close on Thursday. FOMC, 2 o'clock tomorrow. That's what we're on holding patterns for. The question is, with the market, remember the market is always forward looking. It's always forward looking. What does that mean? We price in ahead of time. So if we've already priced in the rate cut, which I think is When I last checked yesterday, it was like, I can't remember, 94 or 97% chance of a rate cut. If they've already priced that in, if we've already priced in the good earnings from those 5 of the Mag 7, because we've seen good earnings in the other categories, and we're like, okay, we're pricing it in. The only one that I think has got massive room to break out, which is why I wanted more size in it, is Amazon. All right, I think Amazon's got a huge breakout coming in it. Huge. Because if we think about this pivot from earlier this year, right, this was the big sell. We have not even taken out the previous year's highs yet. This looks incredibly bullish for that breakout. And unless they have bad earnings, which probably just bring them back to here and I will just buy and buy and buy, this is the only Mag 7 which hasn't broken out yet and into yearly highs. I think everything else at some point this year has gone into highs. If we go, Apple's at all-time highs right now. Google, all-time highs right now. Meta, not far off, but already had all-time highs this year. Microsoft, all-time highs already occurred this year. I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to zoom out. Yes, all-time highs right now. Nvidia, all-time highs. Tesla, all-time highs earlier this year. Or like at the end of last year, and we're almost there. So Amazon, lagging. And it is an absolute beast. So the other thing that's given me an inkling that this might be good is if you're looking at discount stores are performing really well. So if you look at, help me out, guys, because I don't shop here. Is it Walmart? Walmart. Yes. All right. Performing so well. All right. Why? Because no one's got any money. Everyone's broke. Right. So it's performing well. All right. Same with Costco. The last few years has performed well. Everyone is broke. I mean, look at this on Costco. Beautiful. I think TGT might have a move, but it's a bit more expensive, so you want to be careful. This needs a rebound. But again, more expensive, sold off this year because everyone's broke. But if they have good earnings, it's got room to go. So I think Amazon's going to have, it's got a good chance for a breakout. And I think that's what that's why you're seeing this market go on a rip this week, because you've got most of the mag offering earnings this week, and we might be pricing it in early. So it all depends if we go sell the news for any of those events at all. Okay, let's get through some of this. Some say 10% risk of drawdown on each trade. Suggestions: I've been taking payouts but not reaching max payout on Apex. 10% drawdown of your total amount of drawdown is fine, yeah. Because if you're trading with prop firms, you can't use 1 to 2% drawdown, unfortunately, because if you're trading with a 50K on Apex, your drawdown is $3,000. On most of the other firms, it's $2,500. So if you were going to use 1 to 2%, you've got nothing to play with, right? Like $30 to $60. But yeah, like 300%, $300 each day max loss. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. 10% works for prop firms for a max loss on the day. I'd say you don't want to be losing more than 10% of your potential drawdown on the day. I wouldn't necessarily do that per trade, but on the days is fine. Christmas shopping time, Amazon to the moon. I mean, yeah, I mean, and it's also, you've got to think about everything else that they own, right? Like the companies that Amazon own. It's ridiculous. So companies Amazon own: Zappos, Goodreads, Whole Foods, Alexa, Amazon Studio, Amazon Prime, Amazon Music, Blink, Audible, IMDb, Ring, AWS, which is a massive one for them, MGM Studios, I don't know how you say that, Comixology, don't know what that is, Amazon Pharmacy now, which is obviously starting to pick up, Kivia Systems, Twitch, PillPack, ABE Books, Zoox, Amazon Air, Woot, Amazon Publishing, Amazon App Store. The list goes on. All right, they're an absolute monster, and there's tons of others as well. There's a ton of others. So You know, if they lag in one sector, they'll pick it up elsewhere. They will pick it up elsewhere. Black Widow says, I have 2 TPT 100k accounts. I went short off the opening range when it broke down. I used NinjaTrader copier indicator to copy. I don't know what indicator that is. Instead of ending up in profit, NT says I had 24 contracts. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Maybe you're just speaking your mind, but you want to check that trade copier. I haven't done a video on it yet. I've started using the new version of Affordable Indicators copier. I will do a video. We will get a discount for people in the room on that. But yes, I've moved from Replicanto recently because I think it's pretty good, man. Especially, I wanted to test it out for CPI, but unfortunately I slept in. Because it is good. You can set it knows when you're in an evaluation account, apparently. I mean, it does, but I want to make sure it works. And you can set like your max win on the day, and it will just do it automatically for you once you hit that already. Contorted, I made decent money today, so I'm going to head out. Catch you tomorrow, my friend. Take care, buddy. Nice work today. So you see we're starting to reclaim this first shelf here. We're coming out into this second shelf. ES is starting to reclaim its volume as well. All right, so again, no trades. I think this looks like bullish rotation back up. It's just I don't want to play the long side. I think it's too risky in case they just pull from underneath us. MGM and IMBD caught me off guard. What, that they own it? Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely massive. They bought MGM Studios. Some of you might remember this. I'm a big Bond fan, so I was well aware of this. So they now have control of the Bond franchise. That was like a big part of it, because now they have all the Bond franchise available on Amazon. There was talks about doing a Bond series, which I'm really against, but this is now what they have the ability to do. They have control of the franchise. So they can do all sorts of things with it, and everything else MGM owns. NT says our accounts are limited to 12 contracts. So appreciate your input as always. I don't understand fully what you're asking there, Black Widow. NT has nothing to do with the amount of contracts you can trade. It's to do with your prop firm. So you want to check. You're trading TPT, right? So TPT 100k. I'd have to have a look. Yes, 12 contracts. That's what you're limited to. 12 contracts each account. Again, I don't know what prop firm, what account you're using. So here you go. Here we go. They've trapped. This is the signature, guys. Same that we talk about every day. Boom, at the lows. Big selling, the biggest delta on the day and the biggest candle on the day since 10 a.m. Remember, declining volume, big volume. Delta caught the lows. Shorts came flying in there. They get reclaimed. It reclaims value. They hold the dip. We come to the other side of the range, and now we're going to try and take out all these stops now because they caught all the shorts at the lows. This is the same trade we talk about every day on here. This is where shorts got stuck. Again, it's highly probable, this move, but I have to stick to my rules. Even though I know this can keep drifting, I have to stick to my rules. Cannot start getting into a process where I break my rules. Let me go up. 8k on gold and done. Hey, LJ, fantastic work, mate. Alex, what's the best quantity to use for your PA accounts on wealth charts? I don't trade on wealth charts, so just assume you mean on Apex. It all depends what size your PAs are, mate. So let me know what size your PAs are. It's different for everyone. Depends what size your PA is, and it also depends on your own personality and also the system that you trade, right? The size is all to do with the stops. Everyone gets that confused. Your size that you use should be to do with the stops. Chris says 450 in the green, probably as good as it's going to get. Thanks, Alex. See you tomorrow. Take care, Chris. Here you go. Here's the expansion. So they just absolutely ripped all those shorts. They got caught down there. Contorted, excellent patience and analysis as always. No contest for the best trader on YouTube when it comes to caring about the community. Oh, mate, that's very kind. Thank you Fresh. They said the Bond series is going to be at about the start of his career with a younger version of Bond. I just really hope they don't do it. I'm such a big Bond fan, to the point where I've got 2 of the watches. I grew up watching it with my grandfather. It's very, very nice memories of me as a kid. So as long as they don't destroy it. Am I in this trade? I'm not, mate. I'm not in this trade. All right. So I took the short side today. These are my wins today. All right, took the short side on it. No red, just so you can see. Don't want you guys to freak out and think that I'm trading red. But I'm just. Why am I not in this long, even though I knew it was going to go up? It just comes down to the daily. All right, the daily. I have to stick to my rules. The daily chart says, based on how I trade, that I cannot go long above this, even though I know this can keep going. The problem is, if I break this rule here, I will start breaking other rules. So I'd rather just wait. Just wait for the long opportunity when it's ready on a bigger test of value, which we've not seen. We've not seen a bigger test of value for me. So I'd be happy with a long, down here, fine. Oh, even in previous days, lows and stuff, fine. But I'm not going to long all-time highs, even though I think we can keep going. And like I said, all the time this is going up, I'm making money in my swing longs, and that's the other side of it. Hi, Alex. I'm noticing that many of the newer prop firms are putting hard cap on payout requests, often around 100K, then moving traders into live accounts. With much smaller withdrawal potentials, I'm wondering how that companies with their programs from Apex Trader and funding take profit. I'm wondering how that compares. Oh, well, TPT will move you to a live account once you've withdrawn $20,000 out. But their live accounts are very good. Still same day payout request, nothing changes, no cap, nothing like that. Apex will offer you a live account once you get to that 6th payout window. So I am on my 6th payout window on a couple of my accounts at the moment. Looking to scale those and just take all the money out. Ideally before Christmas is what I'm thinking. And in my head, I'm going to start fresh again next year. Some have payout requests. You would have seen yesterday, I'm sure you've seen it in the news. Funded Next removed their payout cap. So they're another one where you can just get unlimited payouts. I think it's every 5 days. It's horses for courses. What you'll gain in one, you won't in another. So some won't give you payout caps, but they will give you consistency rules. Some will give you no payout caps, same day trading, but maybe there's a trailing drawdown to a certain amount, like TPT. It's just figuring out what works best for your strategy. That's all it is. GTC October 25 keynote with NVIDIA CEO starts in 30 minutes. Let's see how the Nasdaq will react afterwards. Yes. If he drops an AI bomb, yeah, he probably will. How many times do you think AI is going to be said? About 1 million. NGU. So it all depends on your strategy, but I would say with a PA, 1 to 2 micros is all you need to start with. You need to work to build that buffer. Once you get above that 2,500, your life is going to get much, much easier and you can start to scale up. Nice, Scott. Yeah, it looks good. Fail breakout below the initial balance on ES looks very, very good. Reclaiming PDC. Already back to VWAP. So your TP1 is here. So think about ES. Same thing we talk about every day. All right, look below and fail. Underneath initial balance low. There's the sweep. There's the same signature, volume and delta. Held IB. Reclaims PDC. TP1. TP2 up here, TP3 higher day, and you have got a flat top up there, so it would not surprise me to come and take this out. All right, so you're at TP1 now at VWAP, IB to VWAP, so that's your TP1, and then I'll be looking into sort of 19s and 20s, and then try and get a runner up to 27s if it's really going to get going. Looks good. Looks good, my friend. Part of me wishes I would pull the trigger on these longs, but I'm really trying to stay disciplined. I know the moment I break one rule in my system, all my shit trades start to appear. We are bullish overall. Yeah, exactly. Favorite trade failure. Yeah, I know you love those. Same as me. Ron, Flowzone Trader, when you trade these 50K accounts, what do you target daily to get a payout, and what's the number of contracts before and now as a go? Which accounts, Ron? Which accounts? It all depends. It all depends what account. I know you're saying 50Ks, but like what prop firm? Everything differs. If I'm when I'm trading Apex, I'm looking for base hits. Base hits, base hits, base. No, it's not the same on any account, because I'll show you why. On Apex, you need to get above the trailing drawdown, and you can only get a payout every 8 days. So the game on Apex is to stay in the game. That is all you've got to do on Apex. Stay in the game. Base hit, base hit, base hit. 100, 200, 300 a day, whatever it is, base hit. Not taking any big losses. Letting smaller size, letting the trade work, taking your money off, next trade mentality. Let's say you do 200 a day on Apex. You do that for 20 days. You're at $4,000 then, right? You're well above, and that's assuming you hit 100%. Let's say you lose some of it. So let's say you're at $3,000. You can pull a little bit out then, and you're above the buffer. Where people go wrong on Apex is they oversize, trying to get past the buffer quickly, and you get a move up and down, and you break even, but you've already eaten into your trailing drawdown. It is not the same on other accounts. It's the same attitude on TPT, right? Until you get past the buffer. Once you're past the buffer on TPT, there's no consistency rule. You can let that thing run. So let's say you're already up over and you're trading 50K and you've already locked in over $2,000 on TPT. Let's say you got long here and you're leaving your stop here, right? You don't have to worry about this trade coming back on you or anything like that. If this trade starts doing this and offers you like a buyback in here and does this, and you end up making, 5K up here on Take Profit Trader, right? You're gonna withdraw 80% of that today. You don't need to worry. It is not the same on all the accounts. So TPT, I try and let the trades work more. Apex, I take the base hits. They're not the same. Same on brains fried. Funding ticks. Let the trades work. Let the trades work for you. No consistency rule in the PAs. Let them work for you. It'd be nice when I get to consider payouts. Just stick with it, Red Dawn. It will come. It's just all about finding the strategy that works for you, being patient and executing when it's there. That's all you've got to do. You're starting to see really strong order flow here. What is Ninja Trader? Stop. Sorry, but map. Look at the expansion here. We're into lunch. I have got to get out of here and walk my dog momentarily, just so you all know. You look good, Scott. It looks really good. So previous day high coming up here for those in ES in this same kind of long as ES. Previous day high coming up. You have got a bunch of stops at 17.50, 19 and above. Let me check ES for you on the book. Okay, so some sellers here into 18. Bids right now at 13 and 12s under that pretty... It's actually very thick at 07 from before and then very thin down to 900s. So yeah, you still look good for that upside swing. But yeah, as long as you've locked some in here, hopefully they re-offer here into VWAP for you and you can come and take out those 19s and then hold runners. But NQ already getting that expansion. So the failed break, failed, look below and fail, reclaim, and off to the races we go. $150K eval on top step, 4,500 drawdown. You'd only risk 10% drawdown for an eval. For an eval, I'd probably risk a bit more. Different for funded. But yeah, I mean, if you can risk 450 and make 900 a day, you look pretty good. Sorry, Roman, I can see it's banned you. Let me see if I can undo that for you so I can read what you put. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, bud. All right, folks, I am out of here. We went a bit longer into lunch there. Nice move. you're still inside that H1. Remember, a few hours ago we talked about this. All right, inside, and you're starting to see outside now. But still inside the first H1 of the day. So these are your swing points for the first hour of the day. Failed below, there's the failed look below, back to the other side. Complete the move will be a new high of day if it can complete the move. If you're going to think about expansion, if you're in this long and you're going to hold runners. Oh. Yeah, I'd be looking sort of 140s, 150s, 180s. 140, 150, 180 if it starts getting going for you today. And I am done, folks. All right. Good day today. Like, we just take what's available when it's available. We can't always get much more than that. Unfortunately, we can only do what the market offers us. This is probably the best trade of the day. Is this failed look below and fail and reclaim? Yeah, see you tomorrow. Those in Discord, I'll see you in there this afternoon. Give me an hour or so to take Luna out and do what I've got to do. And yeah, we'll see if we can catch something this afternoon. All right, folks, but don't be expecting too much from this market. For me, it's bullish overall with a range rotation. At some point, there's likely to be a blow off or fail breakout. We don't know when that is. It might be at the end of the week or next week. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Please trade safe, use hard stops, all that good stuff. Be kind to each other. Thank you for joining. If you're new to the chat and this is brand new for you, make sure you go through all the free videos on my YouTube so that you're not joining here and getting stuck. For those asking, no. Discord, all right, if you do the 20-hour course, it's a one-time fee, $649. With that, you get the indicators, 20-hour on-demand course, and the Discord for life. It's all a one-time fee. Absolutely no pressure for you guys to do that, but that's what it is. It's to keep the community trading in the same direction. Peace and love, everyone. Trade safe. See you tomorrow.